There's a desk.
He keeps looking at me, though. Did you ever notice that?
Okay, I'm getting started. But where did my thing go?
I turned off my mic.
Good evening, everyone. This is the City of Dania Beach regular meeting on February the 10th. It is 7:02 p.m. and I call this meeting to order. City Clerk, if you would please call the roll.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor Davis?
Here.
Vice Mayor Salvino?
Here.
Commissioner Llewellyn?
Here.
Commissioner Romoli?
Here.
Commissioner Ryan?
Here.
City Attorney Boutsas?
Here.
City Manager Garcia?
Here.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you so much, City
Good.
Clerk.
Good.
I'm elevating you. You're going places. But if everyone could please bow their heads for a moment of silence. Thank you. Thank you. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I want to do the same thing.
City Attorney, if you could please read our statement of decorum.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, individuals who wish to make any citizens' comments under that portion of the City Commission agenda or who otherwise want to address the City Commission must first be registered with the City Clerk. The forms are available outside of the City Commission chambers and must be given to the clerk before the meeting. Others who want to address the Commission on any matters must first be recognized by the Mayor. All such persons must use the podium in the Commission chamber, and no more than one person at a time may address the Commission from the podium. Comments are to be only made to the City Commission and are not to be directed to the audience or City staff. No individual shall make any slanderous or unduly repetitive remarks or engage in any other form of behavior that disrupts or impedes the orderly conduct of the meeting as determined by the Mayor. The Mayor often allows applause during ceremonial or celebratory portions of the meeting, such as proclamations, presentations, awards, or public safety recognitions, as these are not action items and are intended to honor individuals or events. However, to safeguard an orderly meeting and to preclude intimidation of speakers on agenda items or designated public comments, the Mayor ordinarily precludes clapping, applauding, heckling, or verbal outbursts. Based upon the foregoing, no individual may speak directly to or address the Mayor, City Commission, or staff. Comments are to be only directed to the Commission as a whole. No clapping, applauding, heckling, or verbal outbursts in support of or opposition to a speaker or his or her remarks shall be permitted. No signs or placards shall be permitted in the Commission chambers. If any person's conduct, as determined by the Mayor, is found to be disruptive or interferes with the orderly conduct of the meeting, the person may be asked by the Mayor to leave the Commission chambers. If the person does not leave and the conduct persists, the City Police Department will be requested to escort the individual from the City Commission chambers. All cell phones are to be silenced during the meeting. All persons exiting the Commission chambers shall do so quietly. Thank you.
Thank you, City Attorney. And at this time, we have item 3.2, request for proclamation approvals for National Government Communicators Day on February the 20th, 2026 for Marketing and Communications Division. And then I requested a proclamation for Mickey Marino's 100th birthday. Do I have consensus from the commission for those two proclamations? Fantastic. And I am going to go out of order because our senior, I believe seniors first here in Dania Beach. And so we are going to have our wonderful proclamation for Mr. Mickey Marino. His lovely family is here. And I just wanted to say I want to thank Helen because she invited me. She called me 2 days before his birthday party. And what I love about the city of Dania Beach, all of his neighbors came out and they had they threw him a wonderful 100th birthday right there in his community. Everybody came out to celebrate him and loves him. And so I said, we would be remiss as the leaders of the city of Dania Beach if we did not do this properly. And so, Mr. Mickey Marino, I'm going to read the proclamation that Maxine has really helped me put together, and I'm so glad that Michelle, his daughter, helped me get all the details for, and so we're getting ready to celebrate this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful milestone. Whereas Mr. Sebastian James, known as Mickey Marino, was born on January 19th, 1926, making him 100 years young on January 19th. And in recognition of this incredible milestone, the city of Dania Beach wishes to honor Mr. Marino for his long and valued life. Whereas Mickey was born in Portland, Connecticut, the eldest of 6 children, he attended St. Mary's Elementary School and Naylor Elementary School. He moved to Hartford for middle school, which he attended through 9th grade. Whereas Mickey began working at 10 years old, shining shoes on the weekend for 10 cents a shine. He picked tobacco at 12 years old, and at 16 years old, he was working at the Royal Typewriter Company. And whereas Mickey enlisted in the United States Navy at 18 years old, he was assigned to the USS Aegir from 1944 to 1946 as Seaman First Class. When Mickey returned from World War II, he went back to Royal Typewriter Company, then moved on to Pratt & Whitney. And whereas Mickey married the love of his life, Margaret Kanata, in 1954, after a honeymoon and several vacations to Florida, Mickey and his wife moved to Florida in 1959. They built a house on Southeast 3rd Place in Dania Beach, where they raised 4 daughters and 1 son. He is the proud grandfather of 11 and a great-grandfather of 17. And whereas Mickey has had several jobs before settling with the city of Miami Beach, where he worked on golf courses, working his way up to operations supervisor for Bayshore Normandy and Par 3 golf courses. He retired from the city of Miami Beach at 60 years old. Whereas Mickey loved traveling with his wife, his favorite hobby was cheering for the Miami Dolphins, attending every game until he retired. He is the best armchair coach the Dolphins ever had. And if they had heard him, they would have had more winning seasons. Now, therefore, on the behalf of the City of Dania Beach Commission, I, Joyce L. Davis, Mayor of the City of Dania Beach, Florida, do hereby proclaim January 19, 2026 as Mr. Mickey Marino Day. We'll say. It is in the city of Dania Beach, Florida, and along with his entire family, we do offer our sincere gratitude for his service and congratulations and best wishes to Mickey on his 100th birthday. If we could all give him another round of applause and come on down with his family for a photo. Come on down. Okay, well, I'm going to go down. supposed to start it off positive, positive. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, you gotta go to Jackson's. We're too close. It's right there. Yes. Have a happy birthday. You tell them we sent you. Thank you. And next, I don't know if you guys have been watching. Eve has been catching me up a little bit. I got to see the opening ceremonies of the Olympics, and it has been fantastic. So we love the Olympics because it brings unity to our entire country, even though a lot of things seem to be divisive. The Olympics is always something that brings America together. It brings all of us together and know that we are one USA. It is also Black History Month, and we have people, and we have one person in particular who embodies both. So we have an Olympian and a woman of Black history and her granddaughter Tashi, who's waving at me. And yes, the mayor's going to recognize you too. But it is a wonderful blessing to have both an Olympian and a woman making a legacy in the world and in the city of Dania Beach. Someone who is truly near and dear to my heart and is actually invested in the city of Dania Beach. Not what the city of Dania Beach can do for me, but what can I do to create a legacy and help out the next generation of people and young people and old people and all people in the city of Dania Beach. So we do appreciate you, Miss Rita Crockett, and for bringing the Rita Crockett Beach Sports Academy to the city of Dania Beach. And at this time, I'm going to read a proclamation for you. Now get ready. It's a big one. This is history. I think I'll let the vice mayor read it. Okay. Is it covering? Okay. Thank you, Tashi. Okay. Whereas Black History Month is a national observance celebrating the contributions of African American people in their struggles for freedom and equality and their part in the development of our nation's history. And whereas 2026 Black History Month theme, A Century of Black History Commemorations, marks the 100th anniversary of the first Negro History Week launched in 1926 and focuses on the evolution, impact, and importance of honoring Black history in the United States. And whereas the city of Dania Beach honors our African American residents and businesses, including Miss Rita Crockett, who has made a significant contribution to Black history and to the advancement of athletics in the city of Dania Beach. And whereas Rita Crockett is celebrated as a pioneering all-around volleyball legend whose success spanned college, international competition, professional leagues, and beach volleyball, earning Hall of Fame induction in 2011, known as the Rocket, for her 42-inch vertical leap at 5'9", and achieving Olympic silver in 1984. After being selected for the 1980 Olympic team. And whereas she earned major milestones, including the bronze at the 1982 World Championship, silver at the 1983 Pan American Games, the 1984 Olympic silver medal, and a lasting impact on U.S. volleyball program from 1978 onward. Whereas her professional indoor career featured championships and MVP honors in Japan's V-League, including 1986 title, Major League Volleyball MVP in 1987, Italian League MVP in 1991, and the European Club Championship with Roma in 1993, and completing a 1982 to 1983 span of international club excellence. Whereas in beach volleyball, Crockett became the first African-American woman to win the World Beach Volleyball Championship in 1989 with Jackie Silva, and was later honored as AVP Sportswoman of the Year 2 times, reflecting her versatility across formats. Whereas she was the first African-American to win a professional beach tournament, marking a historic milestone in Black athletes' participation and success in professional beach volleyball. And whereas her legacy extends to coaching and mentorship with roles at the University of Iowa, Florida State, and the head coach of Florida International University, contributing to the growth and development of future athletes, whereas Crockett founded and continues to influence beach and youth sports through programs and initiatives in Dania Beach, expanding opportunities for young athletes to train, compete, and excel. And whereas Crockett became the first African-American head coach to be named National Collegiate Beach Coach of the Year while at FIU in 2015 and led FIU to the Final Four that year, further demonstrating her impact on collegiate beach volleyball and athlete development. And whereas Rita Crockett has been inducted into 5 Halls of Fame: International Volleyball Hall of Fame, Texas Sports Hall of Fame, San Antonio Sports Hall of Fame, University of Houston Hall of Fame, and USA Volleyball Hall of Fame, reflecting her enduring legacy across national and state local sports communities. And whereas the city of Dania Beach recognizes and honors Rita Crockett's enduring impact on Black history, women's leadership in sport, and the enhancement of our city's athletic and educational landscape. Now, therefore, on the behalf of the City of Dania Beach Commission, I, Joyce L. Davis, Mayor of the City of Dania Beach, hereby proclaim February 2026 as Black History Month in the City of Dania Beach, and do hereby pay tribute to Rita Crockett for her trailblazing accomplishments across Olympic, professional, and beach volleyball, her Hall of Fame recognitions, and her ongoing commitment to promoting sports, coaching, and opportunities for the youth of Dania Beach through her Beach Sports Academy. All right, let's give it up for Miss Rita Crockett, our very own Olympian. Okay, and we are going to take photos as well. Do you want to come say a few words? Let's come say a few words, Miss.
I just want to say thank you for this. This is really nice, and it's really cool because I have my family from Switzerland here, so they get to see how Americans do their commission things. And thank you guys for all coming. My granddaughter, it's the first time she's been here. Of course, my husband and my daughter. So I just want to thank all of you guys for supporting us, and let's do this thing. Thank you.
All right, come on down. Let's have a family photo with everyone. I think we'll stay up here for this. Oh, well, that one. No. I'm gonna bring it down. I'll bring it down.
That's right. They always push me around anyhow, so it matters. Nice to have you. Nice to have all you here.
I was gonna say, she needs to be in the middle.
Cool lead on there.
Come down this way.
More overhead. I think we need to have some guys.
Yeah,
springs in those babies?
Lucky you.
Nice. All right, we bring good energy at the beginning of the meeting. That's what we're doing. All right, thank you again. Bye. And you guys have a great evening, and we'll come see you soon. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yes. Okay. Whew. Now we are on to administrative reports. And so, Madam City Manager.
Yes, thank you so much. Good evening, Madam Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, City team, City residents that are here with us today, and those that are watching from home. I'm going to go out of order because I have some really great news to share. At the end of last week, I received an email from our government relations partner up in Washington, D.C., Josh Gabaton, and I want to read just one paragraph. It says, "Good afternoon, City Manager Garcia. You may be pleased to know that the mini omnibus FY 2026 appropriations package, Department of the Interior, Environment, and Related Agencies Appropriations Bill that includes a $1 million for the City of Dania Beach wastewater infrastructure improvement project finally passed Congress and was signed into public law by President Trump. So this makes us a recipient of $1 million, and I also want to thank Congresswoman Wasserman Schultz for our sponsor. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't score if you don't take the shots. And every one of these elected officials has been with me up in Tallahassee. They've gone to Washington, D.C., and the money keeps coming because we keep knocking and we keep seeking. So we're very excited about that. This weekend, Dania After Dark, Dinner at the Hall, was sold out. It was sold out 2 weeks ago. As a matter of fact, we got some late requests that we were able to honor. We added some more tables, but what an incredible evening. All you guys were there, families, kids. I mean, where else can you have an event where the food was fantastic, the ambiance, the music? They were playing Stevie Nicks, Pitbull, Al Green, Guns N' Roses. Everybody was dancing, having a wonderful time. And we couldn't be more proud of our Parks and Recreation Department. And check us out for Wine and Seafood. It's the second Saturday in March. Every event keeps getting better and better. And the Parks Department, our special events team, they just keep executing amazing events. I wanted to give you all an update. We're all very excited.
Hold on, City Manager, if we could just get it quiet a little bit back in the back so we can hear you
Yes.
properly. Thank you.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Thank you so much, Madam Mayor. So I wanted to give everyone an update on our Frost Park New Courts construction project. It's moving along quickly and very nicely. I was by there last week, and I was by there again this morning. We anticipate the project to be completed by early March. We will work closely with our Parks and Recreation and Special Events team and Maxine to provide a couple of dates to schedule a celebratory ribbon cutting event for the second week of March. The courts are coming out amazing, so please go out and check it out, the progress, but wait till you see the completed courts. Truly, truly remarkable what's happening over there at Frost Park. Another exciting project that is moving forward as a result of our efforts in Tallahassee is the Chester Bird Park renovations. We're doing renovations throughout the entire city. It's truly remarkable. The Chester Park renovations is underway. The surveying is complete, and now we have commenced with civil engineering and laying out the utilities at the site. We will keep you updated on the progress, but by year's end, we should be having another ribbon cutting thanks to our efforts and our hard work up in Tallahassee. On Tuesday, February the 3rd, I met with Dr. Callie Curley, the Director of Graduate Studies at the University of Miami. One of the topics of our conversation was how do we cast a wider net in regards to our interns and how we're able to partner and bring in these young people to work with all our different departments. And I just wanted to share the great news that one of our last interns, I spoke to his mother. he's doing an amazing job. Mr. George Alderman, that was our intern in 2020, he is now the deputy press secretary for NASA. This is really impressive and really exciting because we're able to really not just recruit and retain and promote great staff, but even our interns are doing fantastic work and really helping us out at the same time. Another very exciting and anticipated project is the Olson Park design. It is complete and we are preparing a bid for construction. We did get a call yesterday from Mara Bowman, our school board representative, and I spoke to a couple more representatives. The item was pulled, but thanks to some great research by our attorney and our deputy city attorney, we're looking forward to getting that item back at this next school board meeting. But that's just going to be a tremendous addition to the southeast area, and it's fully paid by new construction monies. So we're very excited about that. Today I did the final walkthrough at the $23 million C.W. Thomas Park. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a gem. Going to public high school myself here, I don't see schools like this. I don't see parks like this. This is state of the art. We were committed, unanimously supporting this project going back to 2019. Every single one of these individuals unanimously approving and supporting this project. And this Thursday at 5 o'clock, join us for an amazing, amazing and historic ribbon cutting on this beautiful facility. We did the walkthrough today with the parks director, the deputy city manager. It's truly a gem, and we do align our words with action. C.W. Thomas, join us this Thursday. Last month, I hosted our board meeting for the Greater Fort Lauderdale Alliance, and Mayor Davis welcomed over 80 employees and board members to our beautiful IT Parker Center. Every time that we get an opportunity to really showcase these wonderful activities, the return on the investment, by that same afternoon, people were asking the availability for rentals. So 80 people had never set foot at the IT Parker Center, were really blown away. And as if on cue, all these beautiful boats and yachts were passing by. So if you are looking for a place to host a wedding, a special event, a birthday party, check us out. IT Parker is really another remarkable facility that has been fully renovated by the support of this amazing city commission and this administration. Another new initiative that we are putting the final touches is on our Black History Month reception. It's going to be taking place February 24th from 5 to 7 p.m. And it's going to truly be a remarkable event because we are going to be honoring all the winners from our first annual Dr. Martin Luther King Essay and Art Contest. So it's going to be great. We're going to have participants and winners from all our parks, from all 3 of our schools, the families, the parents. It's going to be a tremendous celebratory event on February 24th. The 34th Terrace Drainage Project, due west of the Greek Restaurant and north of Griffin Road, is moving swiftly and nearing completion. We anticipate this critical project to be completed by the end of next month. This was one of the projects that we really hustled and advocated for in Tallahassee. I know you all are very aware of that. When we had AJ as our mayor, Mayor Ryan at the time, we did a walkthrough through all those areas. We were extremely aggressive and we were rewarded with tremendous funding. So we're going to be done with that very important project by the end of next month. Deputy City Manager Sosa Cruz and I will be incorporating the Old Jimmy's Chocolate property as a topic of discussion at our next CRA workshop, where a short-term plan to spruce up will be discussed, as well as possible long-term options incorporating any ideas that you may have. This is truly a very exciting time to be in our city. We're running on all cylinders. Great job by our city team with great support by these amazing elected officials. And Mayor, this concludes my report. Thank you so much.
Excellent and exciting report. City Manager, City Attorney.
I always feel so anticlimactic after the manager's reports.
Don't.
But it's a different role, so no report tonight, thank you.
Thank you, City Attorney. City Clerk, you don't feel, what do you? Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. Your next meeting is scheduled for February 24th. It is your City Commission meeting at 7 p.m. And then you have your March 10th CRA meeting at 6 p.m. and your regular City Commission meeting following that at 7 p.m. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, City Clerk. And next, we have our public safety reports, our very own Captain Jason Tarallo. Welcome. He looks so good. We loved your dressed down clothes at the hall.
Oh,
We were
thank
just
you.
commenting. I think that was my first time seeing you not in the green, so.
I got that from everybody.
Yes.
Thank you. So, thank you.
Yeah.
So good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, City Attorney, City Manager, City Clerk. I'll start off by again saying Saturday night was beautiful. That was an amazing event that, again, the city puts on for our residents. Kudos to Ashley and Cassie and the entire city team. A fantastic job. I also want to say that we had our vintage motorcycle show a couple weekends ago, and even though the weather was a little damp, we still had a good turnout. And I just want to say from the law enforcement side, not a single issue. Everyone had a good time. We had a great event and not a single issue to report upon. So it was another very successful event for the city of Dania Beach. Earlier this week, one of our deputies conducted a traffic stop over at Southwest 12th Avenue and Sterling Road. Upon arrival, they smelt marijuana from the vehicle. They got the driver out of the car, and they ended up placing the driver into custody for traffic offenses. Once they conducted a search incident to arrest inside the vehicle, they found over 3 pounds of marijuana inside the vehicle. So they were able to recover that marijuana and charge the driver accordingly. Also, we continued, there's a target that we're continuing to work at that location over at 36 Southwest 11th Street. That was the apartment that we were having multiple complaints on. We know there's a new owner over there that bought that apartment, so we evicted all the people that were there. Well, there's still a target that we've identified in that area, and I will very happily report that we ended up arresting him earlier last week on our charges that we were working on. So we're continuing that area, and we're able to get him in custody. And lastly, today, Deputy Rika, there's a gentleman that we've been looking for a couple weeks. He has a bunch of warrants out. Just to name a few, it was 2 counts of written threats to kill, 1 count of occupied burglary to a dwelling, 1 count of criminal mischief, 2 counts of aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, and 1 count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. And we knew he was on the east side of our city in an apartment complex, and we were unable to locate him for the last couple weeks. I put our deputies out there today because I definitely wanted to get this individual off our streets. And I'm happy to say that today Deputy Rika was able to identify him, find him, and place him into custody without incident. So it was a great arrest getting him off the streets.
Fantastic.
And for the city commission and the city manager, obviously we have spring break starting back up. So our deputies, we're going to meet with Kimco next week and go over our spring break plan, the same plan we had in effect last year that was very successful. So we'll meet with the Kimco management and we'll get the ops back up, the same ops we had last year. And we're also going to have a deputy assigned to the beach for the weekends. So we'll make sure our beach is covered full-time by a deputy. And lastly, Lieutenant Robertson, that everyone has got to know for the last 7 months, sad for our city, but happy for him. Sheriff Tony ended up promoting him this week, and he's going to be going as the executive lieutenant up into Deerfield Beach. So well-deserved. He's been great here. As everyone knows, he's been awesome since he's been here. Obviously, Sheriff Tony saw that, and he decided to promote him and give him the opportunity up in Deerfield as the executive officer. I know, he's great. And
We just keep recruiting the best and they keep taking them. I mean, it's a sad, but it's a great thing. And it speaks to your leadership. As long as they don't take you, then
No.
me and Sheriff Tony gonna have some words. But yeah, it's a good thing. It actually is a
Absolutely.
compliment, but it's, yeah.
You know, we have a lot of awesome people that come through Dania Beach, and we have really good leaders and deputies, and it's nice to see them be successful in their career and move on to leadership positions in the agency. That's what it's about.
That's what it's about. Thank you. Thank you
Yes,
for
ma'am.
putting that perspective. Thank you, Chief. Does we have any comments? Vice Mayor?
Vice Mayor,
Where did he go to?
he's going to be the executive officer up in Deerfield Beach.
I thought Deerfield was losing the sheriff's department.
Well, we're still up there for the 2 years, and
So he left here to go there for 2 years, and then what is he gonna do? Coming back here?
wherever the sheriff decides. That's above my pay grade. But he'll go up there and be very successful and, make sure that they're successful at least for the next 2 years.
Okay, one more question too. All those charges on the person you picked up today,
Yes.
how come he's on the street?
He was wanted, so we were unable to find him. So we had a case on him. We had those charges on him. We've been looking for him for 2 weeks,
Okay.
and we finally were able to
All those
find him
charges
today.
came at one time against him?
No, they had a couple of cases
Okay.
that we've been looking for him. So
There was charges never been to court for you.
we weren't able to pick him up exactly. We couldn't find him, so I sent the guys out there for the last 2 weeks, and luckily today we were able to find him.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
I think that's all. Thank you so much, Captain Tarala. We appreciate
Yes.
all that you
Thank
do.
you very much. Have a great
and
night.
keep doing it. Up next, we have our very own Chief Sergio Pellicer of BSO Fire.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, City Manager, city staff, and the great citizens of Dania Beach. So I just have a few things, but the one thing to start off with, our Station 1 crews and Station 17 crews, they're getting one-on-one time with our medical director. That's a big deal because when your medical director comes to your station, sit down with your crew, and he reviews the protocol and the direction of medical treatment, that's a lot. That's big for us. It's big for our new firefighters they can learn from the person that knows medical the best. Also, our crews participated in our vintage motorcycle event just recently. And the last thing I have, which is really quick and really important to me, and I know I talk about it all the time, but both our Quint, our fire truck, our ladder truck, and our rescue truck that we sent out to get refurbished are now back in our possession. So I can officially say they're in my hands. We're going through fine-tooth comb and nail, making sure that everything that we requested is complete. And we're going to put some final touches at our fleet facility up in Pompano. And we'll be installing a brand new state-of-the-art stretcher on our rescue truck. And both those units will be back in service here, serving Dania Beach within the next few weeks. So once they're back at the station, I'll let you know, and then we'll get some pictures, and we'll go from there. So that's all I have. And if you have any questions, I'm right here.
Sounds good, Chief. I just didn't hear my other two favorite words.
Oh, your Safety Saturdays?
There we go.
They're still going.
No more?
No, we
Yeah, I know they're still going. I know there's
yeah.
one coming up. So
Yeah.
please
Yeah,
let us tell us.
Safety Saturdays are still going. They're advertised on the city's website. So I didn't write down what the next one is, but I can definitely tell you that
Maxine did.
they're still going on. But I'll make sure that I advertise it at the next commission meeting, and I'll make sure I have the dates for you.
Thank you, Chief. I appreciate it. Thank you for all you do.
All right, thank you.
All right, and next we have our citizens' comments. Our first person is Mr. Jeffrey Bryan. If you would please come up and state your name and address for the record, please.
Jeff Bryan, 136 Northwest Fifth Avenue, Dania Beach, Florida. I first like to say thank you for allowing me to have this opportunity to speak for you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and the commissioners and the staff at the City of Dania Beach. I come to this evening to talk about, like you said, you paraphrased something about actions and obligations about the field in Dania Beach, which was just, it's beautiful. I want to say it's beautiful, and I commend the city for that. So the reason why I'm here is because I want to speak up on behalf of some coaches that they have criminal histories, but it's not pertaining to kids, and they want to coach, and they coached in the past. And I just want to bring this up to you, whereas we have actually players in the NFL, Marquise Brown, Tyler Huntley, and they proudly represent the city of Dania Beach, and they're appreciative of all the coaches that have coached them in the past. And most recently, the national championship game with Christopher Wheatley Huntley. He's a Dania Beach resident for the University of Miami. So they all come back and donate and share their time and showing that the underprivileged youth can make it out. So I'm not saying that what someone did in their past to stop them from not coaching, but I mean, we have a president that had 34 felonies, and he's still our president of the United States. Either you like it or you don't. But I'm just saying that they're not criminals as in pedophiles or things of that nature. They just want to give back to the community. And I know everyone up here, we like everything free. I like free stuff. So they're volunteering their time and their effort and their money. They're willing to pay the uniforms, cliques, and everything. They just want to be given a second chance. And that's why I'm here today, because I'm going to give back to my city as I always do. I'm going to be on the football board. I want to make sure that we represent Dania Beach proudly. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your comments, Mr. Bryant. We do have specific policies regarding that. I think our city attorney is looking that up so that you know what's currently on the books as far as what our policies are regarding criminal history for employment.
Would you like me to speak?
Yes, please.
So the state, it's actually state law. It's not even our city code requirements. About a year ago, 18 months ago, the state enhanced all of the requirements and now require level 2 background screening, which is including the FBI fingerprinting. You know, we can't do that for like our street signs or whatever, but it is required by the state. And there's a huge,
For working with children.
for working with children in our parks. And the list, I hate to say it, is so huge. And we don't have discretion. So it includes, if you look at the attachment, it has up to triple L. So in other words, A, B, C, D, you get to the Z, and then you go double A, you go triple L of all of these sections of law relating to criminal offenses that preclude participation, including misdemeanors.
Okay.
So it's
Mr. Bryant, would you
misdemeanors,
like her to
it's
send you that?
felonies.
Can you send that to him and we can have,
Sure.
we can send that to you so you can look that. I just try to follow, we just try to follow the law in compliance with the
I
state.
have no problem
so.
with that, but the government, federal government, that's the highest level of the government in the United States. So if the president can have felonies and
Unfortunately, our state has said no, and our legislature has passed this law. I can forward it to you if you want to
Yes.
give me your
Yeah,
email address,
put
or
your-
I'll
I'll
come down
give
to get
to you
it.
before I go.
And I don't have any discretion.
Thank you.
And I'll forward it to you.
Thank you, Mr. Bryant. Up next, we have Gideon Israel. If you could please come up and, oh, I'm sorry, hold on. You can start to come up, but we just have a comment from Commissioner Ramoli.
Thank you, Mayor. Sorry about there was a late tick on there. I just wanted to weigh in on this. I know it's a state issue, but I do appreciate the fact, Mr. Bryant, that you came forward to voice your concern about this, because I believe that when people do have a situation where they've been in trouble and they've done their time and they're back in society, that they deserve a chance. And it's heartbreaking to know that we have individuals out there right now that have all good intentions to help our children, help our sports in our city, and they're not going to be able to do that because someone doesn't want to give them a second chance. I can't do anything about it, but I just want to be with you and support you and thank you for coming forward and voicing that concern. And if there's anything we can do as a city to change the minds of our state, which I know it's probably not going to happen anytime soon, we will be there with you. But thank you again.
Thank you, Commissioner Ramoli. Mr. Israel, if you would please state your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Gideon Israel. My current address is 946 Southwest 9th Street, which is Hollandale Beach. I moved over there not too long ago. But I'm Gideon Israel. I go by Ja or Coach Ja. Been part of the Daniel community my entire life. Been coaching at the park since I came back home from college since 2014. Been a head coach there for almost 10 years. Back in 2017, I was even voted by the board at the time to run the football operations, and that year I think we had 6 teams throughout the whole program. 4 of them made it to the Super Bowl game and 1 won. So I've always been proud to serve the kids of the community. And I'm piggybacking off Coach Jeff Bryant right now. But the process for getting coaches cleared this year has just been a little frustrating. It feels like we're being pushed away more than trying to welcome in. We have longtime coaches, like he said. Some of them are city employees. Some coaches are city employees who are still waiting to get approval to coach. These are people who show up every day to get a check from the city of Dania Beach, but they can't get approved to coach and help the community for free. It's not about the delays, it's how we're being spoken to when we're trying to go through the process. I mean, we had a coach come over and to HR, and then he was told, don't come back over here. You haven't been approved, that's it. So it's just more ways how we're being talked to. That's not how you treat people who want to volunteer their time, wanting to mentor the youth, and trying to be part of the solution. That attitude only pushes us away, and coaches are walking away from the program because of the disrespect and lack of communication. Like you guys said, we have a $23 million facility, and that's great. I've been here since a youngin' when it was Modella Park, the CW Park to the new park that you're getting right now. And but that's just a shell of what it is. That building is just a shell without the coaches, the players, and the support behind it. Right now, we're losing coaches to other cities like Hollywood, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, Miramar, Pembroke Pines, and they all use the same background process under the same state-mandated rules and are allowed to coach there because I guess those cities make the process easier. How are they allowed to coach anywhere else using the process but not Dania? It doesn't make any sense if it's under the same state-mandated rules. Those city programs must respect the people who are willing to show up, and Dania doesn't. That's just how it feels to us. Dania Beach should be a place families want to bring their kids, where mentorship is embraced, and not the place where people want to leave. We're just asking for fairness, transparency, and some basic respect in the process. In the past, when it was the Dania Bears, before the city took over, the police department was involved, and there was willingness to help the coaches clean up nonviolent issues and still give them a chance to make an impact. That's it? That's my time?
You can finish, you
Okay,
can
I'm sorry.
finish your statement, but that's the hint
Yes,
to
ma'am.
wrap it up.
Okay, that type of partnership is what we need again. I respectfully, if it can't be done, request a meeting scheduled possibly between the commissioner, AJ Ryan, HR leadership, police captain. Let's sit down and figure out together so we can get our coaches cleared, restore faith in the process, and build Dania Beach Dolphins program the right way. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Israel. I do want to thank you for bringing that up.
Have some up.
And yeah, because I do, we want to be fair across the board. And if other cities are able to figure out how, people can volunteer, then we should be able to figure out and smooth out our processes as well. So I do want to ask our team to look into that. And disrespect is never okay. I'm very much about the rules and decorum and making sure everyone feels respected no matter what you're trying to do. So I thank you for bringing that out to the public. City Manager, did you want to weigh in on that?
Yes, Madam Mayor, I just had my HR team send me some information. As a former athlete and as a former volunteer, I value everybody that comes forward. Like our city attorney said, a state mandate is a state mandate. We won a couple of championships back when I was Parks Director in South Miami. So we cannot get around the state mandate, but what we do here, and I just got the numbers for 24, 25, and at the next meeting, I'll bring the numbers for 2026. But 24, 25 total volunteers in 2 years, we approved 72, and 5 were not eligible. So that's almost a 70% approval rate. But whatever we can continue to do to work with you, certainly we can. And any advocacy, like the commissioner said up in Tallahassee, this is something that he as well can do. But we are moving as quickly as possible. But the state trumps any municipality, including the county as well. But we value what you do. I mean, I love sports and I want to win. But like I said, almost 70%, 72 approved in 5 years, 5 not eligible.
Thank you for that data, and thank you again, Mr. Israel, for bringing that up. And so let's see what we can do. You brought us a championship, Commissioner, and I know that there are some other championships. And I just think that it's good to have good mentors for our children. So, Vice Mayor, did you want to weigh in on that?
Just a quick one, Mayor. Everybody's covered pretty much all of it. You know, it just, the comment is interesting that these other cities are doing this. Whether the only way to find out is to call the city recreation departments and ask them how they're doing it. I'm afraid, though, if it's not happening and it throws a flag on them, then what will happen is they may go back and do it and then find out and then ask those coaches to leave. So it's kind of a catch-22, because if it is a state mandated law, then they may be breaking it. Then if we ask that question, then they may look into it, then those coaches would be dismissed from that. So it's kind of tough, the situation to do. I don't even know how you'd go about finding out without, putting other people in jeopardy.
I will put our HR director and our deputy director, Linda and Ann, against any HR department in the whole state of Florida. Not only do we have a great director in Cassie, but we have a tremendous deputy director in Anthony and in Frankie, all former athletes. Anthony was also a coach here. So I don't know what other cities are doing, but we are leaders. We are not followers.
I understand that. I'm not worried
and the
about it.
law is something that we do
Okay.
follow.
All right, as long as that we are following the law, and I'm sure that you're doing the job the way you're supposed to. It just caught my interest on how that's happened, and I just felt that we are obligated to at least look into that, and then.
Absolutely,
Okay.
Vice Mayor, and that is something that we will have our Parks and Recreation Department look into as well.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Again, Mr. Israel, we now have Mr. Robert Kirschberger. Oh, hold on just a second before you come up. Commissioner Ryan.
Thank you, Mayor. Since we're on the subject, I want to speak on this subject as well. Yeah, obviously, I'm a coach of the Dania Dolphins as well. I coach with Coach Ja. We won a Super Bowl 3 years ago. Yeah, his son Jaheim was on my team, and it's great to have him come back and coach. And it's great to have these other. Thank you, Jeff, for speaking as well, and thank you other coaches that came up here. It's hard. Football is a very unique sport compared to other sports, especially when it comes to coaching. It takes a very special skill set and deep knowledge, institutional knowledge of the game. To be a head coach, I would say, we could bring any coach on and show them the ropes, to coach these kids right, show them the right things. Football is a lot more than just X's and O's, and that's one of the big reasons why we're so supportive of our parks and of our children. Coach Shaw has a point too. We have a $23 million facility. You definitely want to fill it up with volunteers. I was at the coaches meeting. We probably had about over 20 coaches in there, and I'm hearing that a good majority of them were denied, and I understand the reasons and I understand state mandate. And here's my question that I have for the city attorney when it comes to that. Because Dania Beach we have our own sports program, do we have to follow the state rules more closely than suppose a PAL program or like an elite sports program or SFYFL, its own individual Optimist program that operates through a city field, so they pay the city rent, but they have their own background checks? And yeah, does that make a difference when it comes to a municipality?
I know what our requirements are. I can't speak about PAL. I'd have to look at it. I don't off the top of my head, I do not know that answer.
We'll look into it.
Yeah, because I would like to know the difference.
Yeah, okay.
And if we're being hamstringed a little more because we are a city, who runs our own sports programs, as opposed to a city that, they kind of contracted out, right?
Yeah.
So to speak.
I will find out for you.
Okay, yeah, and with that, hope you guys come out on Thursday. Looking forward to the grand opening, and we're going to find a way to get these kids some coaches, because you can't have any kids without coaches, especially in football. And last year we had 2 teams. We had, the 8U team that I coached, and we had, a 13U team, and that 13U team's getting older, and we were bare bones, probably 16 kids, and we were practicing at Frost Park, in the mud and with the bugs. So it's good to go from there to coming all the way to brand new C.W. Thomas Park and building the program, with some of those kids that stood and endured with what we had to go through. So thank you, coaches, for coming out. Keep up the good fight, guys, all right? Keep being mentors. That's what it's all about. Thank you for giving me some time to speak on that, and I'm sure we could set up a meeting and we could discuss this further, but it's not just going to go away or be swept under the rug, and we do what we always do. We lead by example, and we tackle the problems head on. So thank you very much.
I'll point it out at the time, but I just
Thank you again, Commissioner Ryan. Mr. Kirschberger, please come up and state your name and address for the record, please.
Good evening. My name is Robert Kirchgraber, and I'm a Dania Beach resident. Do want to discuss and just talk about this again, the rules of decorum. I'd like to know what rules we're going under. Are we going under the written rules that were published? Or are we going to use the oral words that were written, that were spoken here today?
We are in the process of updating it so that they both match. So we're going by what the city attorney has written.
So this is incorrect?
if I may, I'm sorry. Every word that's in there has been read. It's part of what I've read. I added 2 paragraphs as a form of explanation as to clapping, etc. So, but they will be included in the resolution going forward at the next meeting.
Well, this has been going on for a couple of months,
I'm just telling you what we're doing.
and I'm letting you know. I'm calling you out on it. I also noticed through our website that we've got we're hiring some more full-time employees with some pretty nice salaries. And there's no closure on it, there's no review of it, like this is gonna be reviewed in a year, or we're gonna look at this. I mean, some of these positions are 68,000, some of them are 138,000, some of them are $223,000. Do we really need this, is my question. I mean, the government just keeps growing and growing and growing. I think it's time that we do an audit of what's going on inside of Dania Beach and find out, we're not that busy. I'm sorry. We're just not that busy that this can't get absorbed. With that, I'm just going to pass my time, and I thank you very much for allowing me to speak.
Thank you, Mr. Kirschberger. We're going to have our city manager.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Madam Mayor. Mr. Robert, we have over 70 projects citywide. We also have our Public Services Director, Fernando Rodriguez, that's going to be retiring. This is an individual that, he's been in municipal services for close to 40 years. We have gotten the return on the investment, and the way we hire and we recruit and we promote is what has made us the city that we are today, whether it's parks, storm drainage, public safety. But rest assured, we value, your words, your concern as a resident, as a taxpayer, and as a city manager for 17 years, and also our deputy city manager here. We can tell you, rest assured that you are getting your return on your investment, because this city is running on all cylinders. And, just from my manager's report and our CRA report, you can see that citywide, from storm drainage to parks to public safety to community development, we're doing a lot of work here. But you can always call me, we can always meet, and I can go over all those projects with you, or even send them to you so you are aware. Thank you.
Thank you, city manager. And up next, we have we have another person, sorry. Jordan Aguila. Is it Jordan? Jordanen? Ayala. Jaden. Oh, boy. I was getting there. Jay. Come on, Jay.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, residents. My name is Jaden Ayala. I'm a resident here. I actually live right, 3-minute walk right here on Dania Beach and North Federal Highway. I'm technically a new resident here, 3 months, but I have a little safety concern with this intersection. To be honest, I haven't even crossed that intersection. I have a 2-month baby, and it looks a little bit dangerous to me, honestly. My wife doesn't even want to walk across it. We regularly observe that there's distracted drivers on their phones. I know you guys can't do anything on that part. But we also see that there's confusion. It's causing traffic flow. And this often causes congestion, hesitation from other drivers, and it's just unsafe situations for both the drivers and the pedestrians. And I just wanted to respectfully ask the city to evaluate this intersection for potential improvements, such as adjusting the traffic pattern, maybe to like a one-way. I don't know if that's going to be less confusing, or adding an enhanced visual or audible signals that help alert those distracted drivers when they're on their phones. It's starting to sound like New York, honk, honk every second, and even while my baby's sleeping, and you just hear this repeated honk, and it's just a little bit stressful on us. But my goal here is safety, smoother traffic movement, and preventing accidents before they happen. I've seen a couple already, and mostly for the emergency vehicles. I feel bad because I see police officers trying to get through, firefighters or paramedics, and they're stuck. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Jaden, for bringing that up. Safety is one of our number one priorities, unanimously our top priority. So, City Manager, if you want to address some of his concerns.
Absolutely, Madam Mayor. Welcome to our city, and congratulations on your baby. Come out to Dania after dark. You could just walk over. We have our chief here. Some of those roads are the DOT, Florida Department of Transportation, but any type of proactive type of cautionary information that we can share based on what our police officers have seen is something that we're definitely going to, communicate to FDOT, and whatever we could do to push them to try to find some initiatives to have a more safety environment in our city. Like the mayor said, safety is our number one and top priority, and continue to get involved in our city. And thank you for being here at our meeting. We appreciate you, and welcome to our city.
Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you. Remember, I did repeat about that Dania After Dark, so come out and bring your family. Those are very safe events. All right, Mr. DeRosa, you are up next. Please come up. Oh, hold on before you come up. Commissioner Romoli?
I had one comment, and I think Jaden just left, but I wanted to, again, thank him for coming forward, because this is actually on my radar as well. Going east on Dania Beach Boulevard on the west side, it's getting backed up, and that traffic backs almost all the way to the railroad tracks, because it's a one-way. You either make a left-hand turn and get in that lane, or you want to go straight and go down Dania Beach Boulevard. It's getting backed up. The streets are being blocked off, and there is no regard to pedestrians on the corner. The issue coming west on Dania Beach Boulevard and making a right-hand turn going north on Federal Highway is also a big issue. I know there's a light there for a turn signal, but it doesn't matter anymore. If there's the walk light available, people are still making right-hand turns, and they're looking left to clear themselves to make sure there's no cars coming, but they're not looking in the crosswalk. And I've seen near misses more times than I can imagine. So I think whatever we can do as a city to get some kind of DOT study for that area, I think we need to do it immediately and as soon as possible, because we're going to sit here and we're going to say we should have done that when someone gets killed on that street. And I don't want that to happen. So again, Jaden, thank you. You're gone, but thank you for coming forward and bringing that up. And thank you, Manager, for looking into that. Appreciate it.
No, I think, yes. Mr. DeRosa, please come up and state your name and address for the record.
Good evening, Sean DeRosa. I provided some documentation to our city manager, which I asked her to pass down and share with you all. As you know, you've received communication from me since around the first week of January regarding some impacts with the Southeast Drainage Project. And as I explained to you all, I think all residents will take alternative actions that you want us to take. It's just a matter of communication. If we're not given the proper communication with modern day technology, how can we make the alternative arrangements? When I initially reached out to you the first week of January, there was no notification to the residents I know on Southeast Fifth Street of the impacts that we were going to have. And as you know, our mailboxes were blocked and no mail was delivered for a couple of days. And once I learned that mail wasn't going to be delivered, even though that contradicted what the project manager told me, the project manager had told me, hey, the mail officials, they just park at the corner and walk it. But I was cooperative and made the alternative arrangements, no big deal. Well, a week later, then they show up with the door hanger, but the door hanger is not even comprehensive. It doesn't address further United States Post Office mail impacts. And it doesn't talk about construction being done on Saturday, and it mentions that you're not going to block the driveways, but there's a photo of my driveway being blocked in my car. If you just told me, hey, for a week, go park at your friend's house around the corner, I'll do that. Just notify me. And there's plenty of space on the door hanger that somebody could write that in, that, hey, for the 50 houses for the 8 weeks or 12 weeks that are going to be impacted, write what alternative arrangements should be made. Why no automated text alerts? Why no automated phone calls that we use with our system with the danger alerts? This past week, they returned in 7 days of mail has been impacted. I went over there tonight to pick up the mail, and people start yelling and screaming in the back. And one of the guys says, hey, I have to apologize to you. That wasn't the appropriate way for the person to deal with you. I'm not trying to assign guilt to anyone. I'm just trying to see, is there any way city officials with our local post office, with the local vendor can communicate better, use all modern forms of technology to alert us, and before door hangers go out, make sure they're comprehensive so we can be as forthcoming to the residents about what alternatives they should make. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. DeRosa. And I believe that is the last comment that we have from the citizens. So citizens' comments is now closed unless I see anyone else, and I do not. All right, let's move on to the consent agenda. Are there any items that the commission wishes to pull from the consent agenda? Commissioner Ryan?
I'd like to pull item 8.6, please.
Let's pull 8.6. Any other items anybody wants to pull from the commission, from the consent agenda? Okay, do I have a motion? Hold on. Commissioner Llewellyn?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda with the exception of item 8.6.
Thank you, Commissioner Llewellyn. Do I have a second? Commissioner Romoli?
Second.
All right, I have a second from Commissioner Romoli. So all in favor say aye. Okay, any opposed say nay. All right, Commissioner Ryan, you're 8.6.
Let me read the item then. It's a resolution of the City Commission revising and updating the schedule of building permit and other department fees pursuant to Article 1, Section 8-3, entitled Building Permit Fees of Chapter 8, entitled Building of the City's Code of Ordinances, providing for conflicts and an effective date. This is a community development item.
Go ahead, Commissioner Ryan, and then
Go ahead, Eleanor. You could go over it.
Well, no,
I just want to ask for clarification, but you can go first. Go ahead.
Do you want me to give the presentation or just?
no, you can like we did in the agenda review.
Okay. So I'll briefly go over the amendments.
Yeah, I just want to go over some of the major changes. That was all. and I wanted to verify with the rack units.
Okay, 8.6. Okay, so as we discussed, it's best practices for departments, specifically development departments, to review their department fee schedules every few years. Our last update was in 2023. 2023. So there was, we did a market research, we looked at other cities, neighboring jurisdictions, and we've come up with 4 or 5 fees that we'd like to adjust. First one is a certificate of use. Currently, we're charging $50 for certificate of uses. We're requesting to maintain that minimum $50 fee for our single-family residential certificate of uses, but charge $200 for commercial certificate of uses. That's in line with what some of the other cities are charging as well. The executive order extension, that's when site plans come before you, they get an approval. There's an expiration date tied to that approval. The state has, through executive orders, allowed cities to extend those expiration dates. And we've been processing these reviews through the city attorney's office and community development, but we don't have a fee associated with it. So we've decided, based on the time that we're spending, that this is an appropriate fee amount. The special exception fee is $2,000 for all development currently. We're requesting to adopt a smaller $500 development fee for single-family residents while maintaining the $2,000 fee for the commercial. Vacation rental certificate. So currently, right now, we have $530 application fee, which includes inspections, reviewing the process. There's a lot of coordination between departments. So we're requesting to increase it based on what other cities are charging to $700 for each application, and that is an annual application fee per property. The final fee is overtime inspections. Because we provide building code services to contracted employees, their rates have increased. So in order to recoup those costs, we have to increase from $120 per hour to $150 per hour. And that's pretty much the summary.
Thank you. And my question, I definitely wanted that to be emphasized tonight because it's very important. When it comes to the flex reserve and rack unit allocation, that is the part of the 6,000 rack units that we were awarded.
4,000.
4,000 rack units that we were awarded. In the last year and a half or so. And it's $4,000 a rack unit, correct?
$4,000.
$4,000 per.
No.
No?
No. So we have an application fee. It's based on site plan. We don't charge per unit.
You don't charge per rack unit? No?
No.
So the allocation is $4,000? That's what it says. The flex reserve or rack unit allocation, $4,000. That's what I wanted to.
On the original application, or on the original fee schedule?
It was on, no, it's on the new one. Right, it says, item 6 on it. Goes 1 through.
I don't have the document in front of me.
1 through 28. And number 6 is the flex reserve or rack unit allocation, right?
That's existing.
That's existing, right?
That's existing. There's no change there. So they gave you the entire application fee schedule, and they only made certain modifications. I believe the 4,000 is for the entire site plan application for the rack.
4,000 is for the entire site.
For a site plan application, correct.
Okay. That's what I wanted to verify. That's all. Thank you.
Okay.
With that, I motion to approve. Oh, wait. With that, I motion to approve item 8.6. Commissioner Romoli has a question. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Ryan. Commissioner Romoli.
So when you did the study, you did this obviously in Broward County.
Correct.
And what was the highest amount for a vacation rental certificate?
I believe it was 850. Yes, $850.
We can't go to 850?
We could, if the commission wishes.
I think we should go as high as we can go. I would hope that that might discourage a few folks, but that's just my opinion. But I would like to go as high as possible on that. And if I think the highest is 850, we should go 850.
Thank you, Commissioner Romoli. Commissioner Llewellyn.
Just out of curiosity, is it one city that's at 850?
Yes,
Which one?
Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
They recently increased their price. I think it was last year, correct me? Yeah.
I'm good with going to 850.
Okay.
Is there a friendly amendment or a second on the original motion and then
So-
an amendment, or?
let's go, let's do one at a time and then make a new motion to make it clean. So we have, you did a motion to pass 8.6. So
Is there a second?
do we have a second? Commissioner Romoli.
So if I do the second with,
So we can
An
pass it
amendment?
and then you can make a new motion.
Well, if you pass it, it passes.
No,
So you
yeah.
need to have either an amendment.
Can he,
Yes.
okay, so we're not gonna, I'm gonna say no to the
can
second.
Commissioner Ryan just accept the friendly amendment as part of his motion and then have a second?
If he wants to.
Yeah, I think that's easier instead of having a full motion and then having.
You want to accept the friendly amendment, Commissioner Ryan?
Why don't we just go for the highest and
That's what he's saying.
I mean, like, why don't we be the highest in the county? It'd be 875. But 850 is Fort Lauderdale?
Yes. I like that.
Let's do 875. We're gonna do it. We don't have to revisit it again.
What is your motion then?
So let's make a new motion.
We didn't get a second, so.
Well,
All right, I make a motion to approve item 8.6 with the friendly amendment of the vacation rentals fee being $875.
Is there a second to the motion?
Hold on.
Second.
Second, do I have a second? All right. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right, so now item 8.6 passes with the friendly amendment.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yay. All right,
Technically, it's not.
friendly amendment, go. Next, we are on to item,
Commissioner, if I could be recognized, Mayor, could I be recognized for 1 second?
Yes.
That we're going on to item 9, which is bids and requests for proposal. For item 9.1 and 9.2, we should really do the second reading of the ordinances, 12.1 and 12.2. So should we just go ahead and do that?
so let's go ahead and do you want to do 12.1, 12.2 back to back, or then 12.1, then 9.1?
It's up to you how you'd like to handle it. I just figured,
Let's just go ahead and do 12.1, 12.2, and then we'll do 9.1, 9.2.
very good. So it's 12.1 is an ordinance of the City Commission authorizing the expenditure of city funds exceeding $1 million to fund the Lift Station 4 mitigation project, providing for codification, conflict severability, and effective date, public services. So as you know, this is whenever we spend over $1 million, we were required to have a public hearing on an ordinance to approve that expenditure. Can we open the public hearing?
This is a public hearing. Do I have anyone who wants to speak for or against this item? Seeing none.
And vote? Unless there's comments or discussion?
No discussion on this item. All right, let's have a vote. I need one motion and a second. You're gonna take over after this. Can I have a motion for item 12.1, 12.2?
I didn't, only 12.1, I'm
12, oh, they do the, well, that's why I asked. All right, 12, do I have a motion for 12.1?
Thank you, Mayor. Motion to pass item 12.1.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you. Item 12.1 passes unanimously. Item 12.2.
It's an ordinance of the City Commission authorizing the expenditure exceeding $1 million to fund Lift Station 6 mitigation project, codification, conflict severability, and effective date, public services, and it is a public hearing.
This is a public hearing. Do I have anyone who wishes to speak for or against this item? Seeing none, do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve item 12.2.
Motion to approve 12.2. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second.
I'm lit up. Whatever.
Second, Commissioner Ryan snuck in there. All right, all in favor say aye. Any opposed say nay. All right, item 12.2 passes unanimously, and then we are on to item 9.1.
Thank you, Mayor. It's a resolution of the City Commission authorizing ITB 25-25 Lift Station Number 4 mitigation project to Southern Underground Industries, Inc. in the amount not to exceed $2,869,556.75, providing for conflicts and effective date. This is public services.
John Chetton.
Good evening. Oh, Good evening, Mayor. May I?
Yes.
Okay, great. I'm going to discuss some of this. We got through the second reading, which is required for both 9.1 and 9.2 items. 9.1 is authorization to have the award for lift station number 4 to Southern Underground in the amount of $2,869,556.75. This does include a 10% construction contingency. We did put this out to bid. We received 4 bidders. Southern Underground was the lowest bidder. This lift station is located on Southeast 5th Avenue near the Ocean Club entrance on just north of Sheridan Drive. And it is funded by a 50% match, dollar to dollar, local to federal. So half of that amount will be reimbursed to the city through the Florida Department of Environmental Protection.
Thank you, Sean. This is a public hearing. Do I have anyone who wishes to speak for or against this item? Any discussion? Do I have a motion? Commissioner Romoli?
Motion to approve 9.1.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? All right, item 9.1 passes unanimously. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Mayor, I didn't get the motion in the second. Can I just see who that was? Got it, thank you.
Romoli Llewellyn. All right. And then we're on to 9.2. Eve?
A resolution of the City Commission awarding ITB 25-26 Lift Station Number 6 Mitigation Project to Southern Underground Industries in an amount not to exceed $3,235,521.92, providing for conflicts and effective date, public services, and you don't have to hold a public hearing on this.
Okay, good. So, Sean, are you giving us some?
City Attorney, thank you so much. You summarized everything I'm going to say very succinctly, but I will add that this also is funded by 50% local match from the Florida Department of Environmental Protection, dollar for dollar, 50%. And this lift station is located on 2nd Street near Gulfstream Road, and we are looking for approval of entering into this contract with Southern Underground.
Excellent. Thank you, Sean. Do I have any discussion or motion? Commissioner Ryan?
Thank you. Motion to pass item 9.2.
Thank you, Commissioner Ryan. Commissioner Llewellyn?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. All right, item 9.2 passes unanimously. Thank you so much, Sean and Vice Mayor.
Sure. 9.3 is a resolution of the City Commission authorizing the RFP 25-32 beach cleaning services and authorizing the proper city officials to execute an agreement with Beach Raker LLC, provided for conflicts and effective date. This is Parks and Recreation. It is not a public hearing.
Good evening, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, Mayor stepping out. So this is the RFP for the beach cleaning services. It had expired, and we are put an RFP out. We would like to award Beach Raker. They are an industry leader. It is a 5-year contract with 2 one-year renewals, and it is in the amount of $126,000 for the year. Beach Raker is here for technical questions. Open it up for comments.
I do have questions on this one. I had questions. We had a very in-depth, healthy discussion during my agenda review, and I have one. Everybody knows I go to the beach every morning. This item is, we've been using the same Beach Raker system for, I believe, a lot of years. This is a 5-year contract, and I have started this, or we have started this initiative over 6 years now to keep Dania Beach pristine. I see the beach rakers when they go along the sand, they're picking up the seaweed, but there is a lot of debris. There's fishing wire, there's plastic, there's glass, and so they dig a big hole and then they cover it up. When the storm comes, these things start to get washed up and they resurface on the beach. They harm our marine life, they harm our seagulls, they harm our wildlife. So I am very passionate about making sure that we can find a way, and I understand that there is more costly ways to get this seaweed off of our beach. How can we truly, truly make sure that we're just clean, not just burying the debris and the trash, but that we have a long-term plan where that we're really doing something to get this debris from under our beach and make sure that we are protecting our wildlife. We continue to renew this contract year after year, and I understand that there are different alternatives and options that we have. So if we're going to continue to use this beach breaking service, I think it needs to be serving us in the most environmentally responsible way. This is our only beach. We have less than a mile of the beach, and we need to make sure that if we should be able, this is part of our strategic plan, is to have a world-class beach. We cannot have a world-class beach if we have debris constantly coming through and we're not cleaning it the best that we can. So I want to know what options we have, if we can discuss some of those options, instead of just burying all of this debris and things that are harming the environment. So I had to stay for this one.
Yes, so I'll try to make it quick. So we did explore an alternative option in the bid. The price was very high compared to the bid received. So it was $126 for just, burying it and integrating it and keeping it all together. To remove the seaweed throughout the year would be about $1.2 million. So it is 10 times the cost. Because it is a process. It's an extensive process that I can have Beach Raker explain a little bit more.
I would like to hear from them. Yeah,
So
but go ahead. You can finish what you were saying, but I do want to hear from them. But you can go ahead and finish.
Steve can come up, Steve Sternick. Part of that process is also, staging it in the parking lot. So there are some operational challenges there. But Steve can go into that.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commission.
If you can pull the microphone down. Thank you.
So, Beach Raker's been doing this since 1979. We're the largest in the country. We service 22 municipalities on the east coast of Florida from Jacksonville to Key West, along with another 450 customers. We've been servicing Dania for some time the same way, and there are other options. However, where we use those other options, out of our 22 municipalities, it's only 3, and they're for very specific reasons. We handpick.
Can you tell us what those municipalities are?
Yeah, so we do about 1 mile of Miami-Dade County, but it's not so much because of debris. There are certain man-made jetties in Miami, and when the wind blows a certain way, it's like a catcher's mitt, and it catches that, and there's no wave action like Dania has to take it back out. So it's picked up. And I can tell you there are contracts in excess of $3 million a year to take care of 1 mile of beach. The other one is Key West. We're forced to pick up in Key West just because the conditions of their beach do not allow us to integrate. And then Key Biscayne has such little wave action and such a minimum depth that the seaweed does not move in and out. Just to understand what that process would look like in Dania Beach, like Frankie said, it's probably a 10x cost. But it's not only that. Currently, it takes us about 3 hours in the morning, and I know you're out there and you see us out there working. During heavy seaweed season, this would be an all-day event. So you would have a tractor going back and forth on the beach literally all day, and you would have to close sections of the beach as we're moving around. Number 2, we need a staging area. So once the seaweed is picked up, we would probably take half the parking lot to stage it, and then a second piece of equipment to pick it up and load it. And there could be, the most we've done is 30 truckloads in a day in Dade County. That would be a cost in a day of what you're spending in 3 months. And 1 day wouldn't take care of it. Another thing you need to consider is that our work is a picture in time. So as you see, we can go out there at 8 o'clock in the morning, the beach looks beautiful. And I have before and after pictures of your beach for a decade.
But as soon as the next wave comes in, it brings the seaweed back. As soon as the next high tide comes in, it brings them back even further. So it's just a picture of time. And maybe the biggest consideration is every time we're taking seaweed, we're taking sand. Think of it as putting salt on a French fry. It sticks to it. Your beach this year, I don't know if you'll agree or not, but we think it looks better than it's looked in the last 3 or 4 years.
No, I don't know if it's the people, but it does look
Right.
better.
Your
Yes.
beach right now looks great, and it's actually a little wider than it has been in past years, partially because of Mother Nature.
Well, we have 50,000 cubic yards of
Right.
sand from the Broward County.
And we're keeping it on there. If we start picking up seaweed, it's just naturally going to take some of it away. So for those reasons, listen, that's what we're in business to do. We're happy to do it. We can have a hybrid, but I think to be cost effective, to keep the sand on the beach, and the seaweed, when it's integrated, strengthens the beach. So I think that's helping to keep a wider beach too.
So what would the hybrid look like?
It would look like just that during heavy seaweed season. And we don't know when, we have forecasts of when it should be. It would mean deploying a second piece of equipment. So you got maybe a day or two mobilization. And then it would be closing those sections of beach as we're on your beach for 10 or 12 hours, going back and forth.
Well, because I'm just having this conversation with you. I mean, because, when it's heavy like that, and I understand, there's really, you could do it all day and all night, 24/7. You're
And it
not going to
just
get
keeps
all
coming.
of that kind of thing. But
Absolutely.
what if we're not doing it during those heavy seasons? You know, because those, or I don't know. I just wanted to, I wanted to have you weigh in
No,
and,
listen,
and think about some different options. I understand what you're saying because we were trying to keep our beach. We're not trying to erode our beach, but we also don't want the debris, the dirt, the fishing wire, and all the things that get caught up in there. Because I've stepped on things, the birds step on things. I'm trying to find a good medium that we can.
Beach Rakers and environmental steward. I mean, we love the beach. That's what we do.
That's what we do.
Love the beach. We love the turtles. You know, the majority in our studies, the majority of debris on beach is actually left by beachgoers. There are some that wash up, of course. City of Dania Beach does a fantastic job at mitigating that. You've got trash cans all over, buckets all over. So as far as beaches cleanliness goes, Dania's doing a great job, better than most. We do handpick every morning. I'm sure you see Adrian out there, and he's one of our most seasoned operators, and you've seen him for years. So Dania's lucky to have him. He's fantastic. This is his territory. But we do handpick. I mean, are we going to get every piece of fishing line? It's just impossible.
Right.
It's impossible.
We'll keep this conversation going, but thank
Absolutely.
you for weighing in. I think Commissioner Romoli wants to weigh in. I couldn't leave yet, but I have to leave now.
No,
soon.
appreciate your time.
Thank you.
I heard a couple of comments that I'm curious about. I know you said hybrid. As you were mentioning about the seaweed being buried, I started thinking, okay, and then the cost. Was the cost based on everyday cleanup of seaweed, where you would clean it, not bury it, or were you basing the higher cost on a hybrid?
Any day that we are picking up and hauling seaweed, it goes by truckload.
No, I understand that part of it, but I guess I don't like to hear the word "we can't do it." I always want to find a solution to something that
we absolutely can.
Okay, so I'd like to hear solutions from you about what your hybrid model would be and how can we do a better job. Not saying that you're not doing a good job, but how can we do a better job of disposing of the seaweed without getting into these absorbent costs and taking out half of our parking lot. I think that's what you're talking
Yes,
about,
thank
Mayor.
you.
I just want to hear some
Yeah.
solutions that maybe we could
Thank
look
you.
into that actually would do something better for our beaches, not erode them, not take away more sand, but maybe a hybrid that we can kind of feel comfortable with. That's really all I'm looking for.
Thank you,
For
Commissioner.
your particular beach, there are two processes. There's the one we're using now, which we as a company feel is the most efficient and the best way to service your beach. And then there is pickup of the seaweed and hauling it, which would be the second option. That this was the first bid that had that in there. Like I say, we do that in areas, but not necessarily for the same reasons that you're looking to do it. And, you know, that's how we feed our families. We're happy to do it, but as a business owner, I'm telling you, I don't think it's the right solution for the city. Happy to do it, though.
We're gonna keep working on it from our end. I've just never been happy. I want to be happy because
Right.
that's my happy place.
We're happy to set up a workshop. My partner Chip, who runs the beaches, has offered to come and do a workshop. And
It's just gonna
try to
take a lot.
figure it out.
I know that you guys work hard. I see you
Thank
out there at the break of dawn.
Right.
You know, you're out there. You get out there before there's a lot of people, and you make sure that it on the surface it looks beautiful. And so I do give your guys credit because they do make sure even just the lines. I mean, they really
Right.
do, make it look nice, but it needs to look nice from the inside out, and that's what I'm going to continue to work towards.
Mayor, we hear you, and we'd love to work with you.
Thank
Figure
you.
it out.
All right, Commissioner Ryan.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, we definitely all cherish our beach that we have. I always like to remind people we have 700 yards of beach, and we're very proud of it. And Beach Raker has done a wonderful job. You know, I'm out there all the time as well. And I just want to remind everyone, you know, seaweed is a natural occurrence in the ocean, and it also houses marine life as well as strength in our beach. So I'm not really a big fan of hauling away all the seaweed. I understand that sometimes the tourists complain about it and whatnot, but you know, it's a beach at the end of the day. We're not making anything artificial, right? It is almost a little artificial with the sand that we haul in and, you know, with raking it every morning. But, you know, to go from $126,000 on a 700-yard beach, what is that, like $180, you know, per yard? And then we're talking about doing 1.2 million, which is like $1,800. So we're multiplying it times 10. Like I said, our beach looks wonderful. We just spent $1.2 million to renew our pier for, you know, hopefully like the next 10 years ongoing. So I see the investment in that, but, and, you know, we do get awarded the sand through the county as well. We just did the, you know, the underpass sand project, which is going to bring us more sand as well for, you know, for a minimal cost of what we pay now or what the county pays. So I'm in favor of keeping it how it is with Beach Raker. And, you know, if there's no further discussion, I'd like to make a motion to pass item 9.3 as it is.
2 or 3, it is 3. All right, we're gonna move forward with that. I'm gonna keep the discussion going, not right now, but later in the future. Commissioner Llewellyn.
I'm also in agreement with what Commissioner Ryan just said, and also we have the subject matter expert here who is the business owner who actually could make more money off of us and is telling us that he doesn't think that that would be the right thing for our particular beach. So with that, I'm going to second Commissioner Ryan's motion.
All right, all in favor say aye. Aye. Item 9.3 passes unanimously, and we'll keep the conversation going. Vice.
I do want to add too, so our ocean rescue team is out there. They are the frontline workers. They do pick stick and pick up debris when they have a chance. And they also educate people. So, you know, if someone leaves something on the beach, they go up to them immediately and they take care of that. So we'll continue to attack it from all angles too. So thank you.
Vice Mayor, since you're running the meeting, if I could just have a point of order. Before we do item 10.1, I need to read in the second reading ordinance 12.3 that is associated with it, okay? And I think what I'll do is I'll read that and 10.1 together so we can hear all of it together, and then we can have two votes at the end. 12.3 is an ordinance of the city pursuant to the requirements of section 655-40 of the LDC, approving the right-of-way vacation request, which right-of-way is generally described as Northeast 3rd Avenue, formerly East Railway Avenue by the plat, submitted by the applicant, adjacent property owner, Sunday Scooter Jr., for the right-of-way generally located between the Florida East Coast Railway and applicant's property, which right-of-way consists of approximately 104 by 40 feet lying west of the applicant's property located at 213-225 Northwest First Avenue within the city of Dania Beach, providing for conflict, severability, and effective date, and the associated resolution of the City Commission approving the request of a waiver of replat submitted by the property owner Sunday Scooter Jr. for the property located at 213 through 225 Northeast First Avenue in the city, providing for conflicts and an effective date. These are both community development items. The ordinance does have a public hearing component.
Does it have a conditional, do you have to swear anybody in anything?
No, I do not.
Okay, well, hi. Go ahead.
I'm here just if you have any questions. This is a second
Yeah,
reading for the item.
no questions. It's a public hearing. Anybody here to speak for or against this item? Just had to, didn't you, Rod?
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. It'll be very quick today. Rod Feiner, attorney for the applicant, 1133 Southeast 4th Avenue, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Viviana just explained it perfectly. Nothing's changed since last hearing. The resolution, which is a quasi judicial, so I don't know if you needed to swear me in or not.
It's public hearing, it's not quasi judicial.
Okay, perfect. With regard to the resolution, that's a companion item. It's just some part of your code that says anytime you mess with the plat, you have to replat it unless you get a waiver. It doesn't really pay to replat this one little parcel and part of the larger plat, which is why we're asking for the waiver.
Okay, thank you, Rod.
And if you recall, they have a building on the right-of-way, and so they want to make their building legal.
Okay. Seeing no one, hear no one, we have a motion. Passed. That's going to be, we go vote on both these at the same time?
Separately, please.
All right, so 10.1, any comment from the board?
That's 12.3, I think you're waiting for a motion on, Vice Mayor.
Do which one?
We're on 12.3 right now.
She told me we're in 10.1, then go ahead.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which one comes first at this point, just
All right, whatever. Which one do you want me to do?
do 12.1.
12.3?
Yes, thank you. I'm tired if you can't go.
Okay, this is 12.3. Is there any comments from anybody? Would you like to make a motion?
Make a motion to approve 12.3.
Okay, I pushed the button for everybody.
Yes.
Second.
All in favor? Okay, now do you want me to go back to 10.1?
Any opposed?
Any opposed?
And yes, no.
Item passes.
10.
12.3 passes. Now we're going back to 10.1. Okay,
Commissioner Ryan, you had your mic on?
you want to make a motion? 10.1.
Make a motion to pass item 10.1.
Okay, a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, fine, we move. You can go to Jackson's now. Okay, we're going to go to 11.1. Eve?
We're asking for this item to be rescheduled to be heard on February 24th, but at 7 p.m., but I still have to read the title. It's an ordinance authorizing the expenditure of city funds exceeding $1 million to fund the water treatment plant chemical feed system replacement, providing for codification, conflicts, and effective date. It's a public services item. Again, this is solely to have a motion to continue the item to February 24th.
Thank you, Eve. So we have to vote on that too? Yes. Okay. All right, so we're going to move item 11.1 to the next meeting. Do I hear a motion to pass for that? No.
Oh, sorry.
I got it. I didn't do it right. I got it. Yes.
Okay, I will make a motion to continue item 11.1 to the February 24th meeting
At 7 p.m.
at 7 p.m.
Got a second?
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Item passes. Take over, Mayor. I got you through 2 or 3 of them.
All right, thank you.
You're on
11.2.
Would you like me to read
Yes,
item?
please, read item 11.2, Eve, thank you.
It is an ordinance of the City Commission amending Chapter 28 of the LDC Use Regulations at Article 105, Use Regulations for Residential and Open Space Zoning Districts at Section 105.20 to amend the use schedule to include foul within certain district regulations, and creating Section 105-270 entitled Foul to create maintenance and enforcement regulations relating to the housing of foul, and amending Part 7 entitled Code Administration, Article 725 Definitions at Section 725.30 Terms Defined to provide definitions relating to foul, providing for codification, severability, and effective date, and sponsored by Commissioner Ryan. It's also a community development item.
Good evening, Corinne LaJoy, Deputy Director, Community Development. This is a text amendment on first reading. This ordinance, or the text amendment, is to expand where the keeping of fowl is permitted. Currently, we do allow it in the city, but it's on properties of 1 acre or larger in the estate zoning only. So the request is to expand that so more people can keep fowl on their property. So the current restrictions are estate 1, which is 1 acre, 25 birds, and 50 feet from a property line. So what we're doing, we did a search of the county to see what kind of regulations our neighboring municipalities have. We found that 4 municipalities allow it as a conditional use, 4 allow it as a permit with 50-foot setbacks, similar to what we currently have, 9 permitted in agricultural zoning of 1 acre, which is also similar to what we have, and 13 do not permit it at all. So we started looking at what where they were permitted, what some of those regulations included. And they were kind of all over the place, but what we've identified is to allow the use. It went to the Planning and Zoning Board in January. We had identified it at that time as a special exception with a list of criteria as conditions to allow the use. One of them I'm going to point out is the minimum lot size of 10,000 square feet. That's something specifically the Planning and Zoning Board thought might be too restrictive, since especially because most of our zoning districts, single-family zoning districts, have 6,000 lot area or 8,000 lot area. So they they approved it with the 6,000 square foot lot area, not the 10,000. In our regulations that are proposed, we identify setbacks being 10 feet from property lines, 20 feet from structures. We're also anticipating that it's prohibited in front yards, so it's intended to be in the back or the rear of the properties. The Planning and Zoning Board, as I mentioned, did discuss the item. They proposed the change from 10,000 to 6,000 square feet. Additional research showed that there's a national trend that aligns with the Dania Beach's strategic plan and the principle of our hometown feeling. Also, the city's mission to operate in an environmentally sensitive manner. And based on the additional feedbacks that we got and additional research, staff is recommending the proposal of the 6,000 square foot properties as a conditional use to be a permitted use as accessory, so it's no longer a special exception as it's proposed in front of you today. Code compliance will be responsible for investigation and addressing any violations of the ordinance should it be approved. Planning and Zoning Board, as I mentioned, heard this item in January. They recommended approval with the change in the lot size, and based on our analysis and our recommendation, the text before you, we're recommending approval on first reading, and I'm available if you have any questions.
We also included language in there to come back in a year's time with a review. So do this as a pilot and see if any tweaks need to be done.
Thank you for that clarification, Eve. Commissioner Romoli.
Thank you, Mayor. Corinne, I didn't read or see anything, correct me if I'm wrong. It was how many hens? 4?
Yes.
And do they have to be caged or are they free-range hens?
We do have provisions for shelter for them that's identified. And that's where the setbacks primarily come into play. We also have allowances for runs.
For what? I'm sorry?
For runs. Like
Runs, I
similar
gotcha.
to like
Like a dog run.
right, exactly.
And no roosters.
Yeah, for the hens.
I guess this would be a hen run.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's all I had. I'm sorry, Mayor. Thank you.
No, you're fine. This was unanimous approval by the planning and zoning?
Yes, it was.
I did get a couple of questions and feedback from some of the residents who were concerned. I know you said in your presentation that code would be, part of the enforcement of this new 6,000 feet. And, but the concern was that, the smell and people with allergies and people who are sensitive that, that they're going to have to endure this new, this new rule if it's so passed. And what is it that we're going to be able to do? I mean, is code really going to, what kind of enforcement? We have nothing to do if it's just irritating them. I understand that it's a pilot program, so I like that we're going to be looking and seeing if there's going to be some complaints. But people who have respiratory issues, that's somebody who called me and was, was very concerned that it's just going to be like, having hens and chickens so close to their property that was going to bother their respiratory issues and things like that. So I'm just asking, how much is how much is code going to really be able to do as far as that is concerned? I just want to address the people who've come to me with these concerns.
So we did put specific provisions for maintenance of the fowl, and one of them is that they can't have the waste around. It must be removed regularly to prevent odors, flies, rodents, and other nuisances. They must be cleaned and maintained. It goes on and on. But what's important, unlike most other uses, the special magistrate, after a number of violations, can revoke.
Okay.
After a public hearing.
That's really what I wanted to get to, so I'm going to pull that. Thank you, Eve.
Another thing that I want to add, remember, this is a pilot program. Yeah. So, and we're going to treat it like we would treat any code violation because quality of life is also very important for us.
100%. Okay, this is a public hearing. Is there anyone who wishes to speak? Come on, Mr. Kirschberger. Come up and state your name and address for the record again, please.
Dr. Nancy Greenberg. I want to know. I want to know who's going to be taking care of the biosecurity on this. Do you understand that backyard coops are highly susceptible to bird flu through native species coming in? So that means any runs that are uncovered are susceptible to bird flu. Do you want an outbreak in Dania to be known as that? That's all I have to say.
We didn't get your name and address for the record, please, just because we need that for our record.
Dr. Greenberg.
Dr. Greenberg.
Do you have an address?
Do you have an address? We want to be able to contact you.
7 Southeast.
Thank you. Southeast 7th. Mr. Kirschberger.
Okay, I'm a little concerned about this fowl pilot program and reducing the size of the lots. I agree with the hometown feeling and environmentally sound matter. The idea that there's no impact is misleading in the verbiage. We just spoke about additional resources needed for code enforcement and things like that. It's going to have an impact, folks. To say that it doesn't is definitely misleading. To say that waste needs to be removed regularly, that's really vague, okay? I'll give you a heads up. I am a rodent specialist. I am an exterminator, okay? Rats, a pair of rats, okay, can develop 1,200 rats in less than a year, okay? Rodents, given perfect environment, food, water, and shelter. A pair of rats in a perfect environment can grow to 15,000. We have a major rodent problem right now in Dania Beach. I'm getting calls all the time. Okay, this is a matter of public health. This isn't about Susie or Billy or whoever that's going to save a couple of bucks because they're going to grow their own eggs. Okay, this is, we have to, I'm asking you not to approve this. Because 50 feet, if someone puts a coop up next to your yard and all of a sudden you start seeing rats running on your fence, they're going to be down here with torches. They're going to be calling me. And I'm not turning the business down. This isn't good for my business, okay, to say this. But I don't know if the city of Dania Beach has a pest control consultant on staff or a rodent person on staff or anybody, okay? But to have whoever drew this up, okay, and to say that there's no impact and not necessarily do the research, just like the previous woman, the gentlewoman that spoke earlier about bird flu. There's some pretty heavy impacts when you start allowing this, okay? And then they're going to start getting into people's homes. And now it's, at what point is it going to not be a public health? I don't think we should have chickens in Dania Beach, period. Okay, this isn't Hialeah, this isn't South Miami. They got a problem with peacocks down in Miami. They got a problem with chickens in Miami. You're opening the door to problems. It's going to cause us, restaurants are going to have problems. It's not going to be good, folks. And I'm giving you a heads up on that. When you use general language, waste is to remove regularly, okay? You have to harvest these eggs. That's all subjective stuff, okay? It's all subjective. And you're going to lean on code enforcement, and code enforcement then is going to want more FTEs, and now the bill's going to start going up, and we're going to start getting rats inside of buildings and residences, and it's just not good. It's not good for anybody. I'm not overly concerned about what other communities are doing. I don't live in other communities, folks. I don't want to hear about, well, what's this community doing? What's that township doing? I want to know what Dania Beach is doing. Okay,
Thank you, Mr.
and I don't want to model that. I'm asking for a no vote on this 100%.
Thank you for your expertise and sharing your opinion on that. Commissioner Llewellyn.
Do you want to finish public comments first?
Do we have any other public comments? Come on, Mr. DeRosa, please state.
I'll wait till that's done and then I'll
Okay.
ask my question.
I'll close public comments when we have no more. Mr. DeRosa, name and address, please.
You're special tonight.
Sean DeRosa, good evening. I'd like to make a formal statement in opposition to the ordinance allowing chickens in single-family residential neighborhoods. Mayor and commissioners, this ordinance is a serious mistake, and the way it has been advanced is deeply flawed. This is not a minor text amendment. It fundamentally changes what single-family residential zoning means in Dania Beach by introducing livestock uses into neighborhoods that were designed, purchased, and relied upon as quiet, sanitary, predictable residential environments. Homeowners relied on these zoning protections. Homeowners purchased and relied upon as quiet. Homeowners relied on these zoning protections to preserve their right to quiet, peaceful enjoyment of their homes. Historically, chickens were allowed only in the estate zoning district, where parcels are a minimum of 1 acre. That restriction existed to provide meaningful separation and protection from noise, odor, sanitation issues, vermin, and public health risks associated with agricultural uses. That protection has now been dismantled. Chickens are being pushed into single-family residential neighborhoods all the way down to 6,000 square feet. That's a 90% reduction in terms of the lot size. That is not modernization. It is a collapse of longstanding residential land use protections. Residents were never clearly informed that this ordinance would allow chickens next door to them, bringing daily noise, persistent odor, waste, pest, and enforcement disputes into neighborhoods where people invested their life savings based on existing zoning rules. Calling this a special exception does not fix the problem. It simply pushes conflict onto neighbors and code enforcement, guaranteeing recurring complaints, inconsistent enforcement, and permanent neighborhood hostility. On 6,000 square feet lots, these impacts are unavoidable. Noise travels farther, odors intensify, waste accumulates, and vermin problems increase. There was no buffer study, no public health analysis, no enforcement capacity review, and no neighborhood impact assessment before this change was recommended. The public health risks are real. Chicken waste produces ammonia odors that irritate eyes and lungs, particularly affecting children, seniors, and residents with asthma or respiratory conditions. Coops attract rats, raccoons, flies, and mosquitoes, and poultry can carry salmonella and other bacteria that spread through soil, surfaces, and runoff. Noise impacts are also being minimized. Chickens are not silent animals. Daily clucking and distress calls occur throughout the day and are especially disruptive in dense residential neighborhoods. Once permitted, noise and odor complaints become extremely difficult to enforce, and a 50-foot setback provides no meaningful buffer on small lots. Just a couple more sentences, Mayor.
Finish up, please.
Most importantly, residents are telling you clearly this harms quality of life and threatens property values. Ignoring that belief undermines trust in residential zoning protections citywide. If adopted, this ordinance strips owners of quiet enjoyment, creates predictable neighborhood conflict, overwhelms enforcement, and permanently weakens single-family zoning. The responsible action tonight is a no vote. Single-family neighborhoods deserve protection, not surprise zoning changes. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. DeRosa. Is there anyone else who wants to speak for or against this item? Then I will close the public comments. And Eleanor?
Thank you, Mayor. Real quickly, I just wanted to clarify a few things. Code enforcement does work 10-hour shifts a day, 7 days a week. We do have the staff capable to handle any additional complaints that would come in. Part of the pilot program, I just want to emphasize a little bit, we would provide monthly updates to the manager to provide to you, so you're clearly seeing any complaints that come in specifically related to foul, similar to what we do to the noise ordinance when we adopted that recently, or changed that recently. So I just wanted to make those few comments and put that on the record. If it does go forward to second reading, I wanted to make sure you understood that.
Thank you, Eleanor, for that clarification and update. I'm going to open it up for discussion for commission or a motion. Does anybody have discussion? I'll see if there's discussion on this. Commissioner Llewellyn?
Yes, I have a few questions. Have we been receiving outreach for, like, have people been calling us and saying that they want to do this? Is that, I'm trying to figure out where this is coming from, is what I'm trying to find out.
Well, perhaps Commissioner Ryan could speak on it because he was the original sponsor.
Commissioner Ryan?
Yeah, do you want me to speak on it now? Or?
Yeah, that's my first question, because I haven't, look, I'm gonna, honestly, I know people have chickens already because I see them. So I know there are people that have them already, and as far as I know, people aren't necessarily complaining about people having chickens. I do recall a time several years back where somebody specifically called me about a rooster, and that was addressed over in the northeast part of town, and that was handled. But this is something that's going to exclude roosters, so there won't be any roosters crowing at 2:30 in the morning or whatever, because they do that. And it's only 4 hens, correct? It's not 25 or the other number that was mentioned by somebody. But I would like to know where it's coming from that people are people asking about this? Because I have not personally heard that, so.
Yeah, actually throughout the years of me being an elected official in Dania, I've received inquiries regarding it. And you could even ask Eve, I talked to her about it maybe like a year and a half ago. And then we finally addressed it some more. I thank the city staff for working with us so diligently on creating a new ordinance to make this more feasible for everybody. But yeah, basically, I have been approached, and people do want chickens in their backyard. It's a shift to be a little more sustainable, a little more self-reliant on yourself. It's the freedom to do what you want in your backyard, as long as you have a sufficient enough yard to do it in. And you have to build a sufficient enough coop for your chickens. So let me remind you, people that make chicken coops aren't just slobs who just throw up a chicken coop and don't maintain it at all. And if you leave your chickens out at night here in Dania, they're going to get killed by a raccoon or a stray cat or a possum. You know what I mean? So you have to protect your chickens. You got to protect the chicken coop, right? And like I said, those who build it are really not typically known as rule breakers or violators, right? It's usually a sustainable family who wants to, give their children an experience, get eggs for themselves, get their neighbors some eggs. And I want to let you guys know that I did speak about how many complaints have we gotten with fowl in like the last 3 years. And on average, from what I was told, it's less than 10 a year with complaints with fowl. And that's with people who are violators already and who have roosters, and then it gets taken care of by code. So, my point here is because we're allowing this pilot ordinance, it's not like everybody's going to start getting chickens in their backyard. I wouldn't say that would be an impact, but we do have a study on it, and that's why I want to control it closely. Look, I've health concerns too. I have asthma, but I'm not worried about 4 chickens next door in a chicken coop giving me an asthma attack. I wouldn't say that 4 chickens are any more dangerous than 2 or 3 dogs, that some neighbors have. Some neighbors have, 6 or 7 dogs, right? And there's no ordinance on how many dogs you could have. So, yeah, this is just, it's basically bringing back more freedoms that people can do in their own private property. And as long as they do it to our specifications and our requirements, then I feel like they should be allowed to do it. And, this is kind of, like you said, we lead by example. We want to do the right ordinance to open this up for folks that don't want to violate the rules and just build a chicken coop in their backyard. Now they have the right to do it. And, yeah, it is a popular trend, I guess. But, people have had chickens in their backyard since Sam, right? And, when we talk about rodents, same thing. There's been roof rats in Dania Beach since Dania Beach has been a city. We always have roof rats. We always have rodents, okay? That's definitely a problem that we address, and it's good that it keeps, this young man in business as well, right? So that's basically where I'm coming from. It's not because I want chickens personally. It's for the neighborhoods overall, and for just good law-abiding families, right? That want to be a little more sustainable and self-reliant. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Let's let Commissioner Llewellyn finish, and then we can go in order, please.
Just a couple more questions. So this is it's going to be like a general ordinance that anybody can do this, or because it's a pilot program, can we limit the number of, I don't know, it's not licenses, but is there some way to limit the number of homes that
So it'd be citywide.
have them?
Wouldn't that be Eleanor? It would be citywide, right? It would be citywide.
Citywide and residential properties, single-family residential.
Right, so there wouldn't be an application process or anything, so we wouldn't regulate how many coops would be out there. This would be citywide. It's based on the lot size, so 6,000 is where we're at right now. So the property would have to be at least 6,000 square feet.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out if there's a way that we could kind of control a little bit so it doesn't get out of control. Because something like this can potentially. Now, if you don't have roosters, it does help.
I think the issue with chickens is people letting them run free. We get complaints about that. We have
that problem now.
In a long time,
I see them in my neighborhood, and I don't know who has them, but I know somebody does. I just don't know who. My other question is, why did we choose a year for the pilot program? Could we make it a shorter period for a pilot program and kind of get an assessment, or do we need more time to?
That's typical. We did that with the noise. We did 1 year, but like I said, I'm coming back monthly with a report for the manager. So if it's something that you see an issue, we can definitely shorten that time frame.
Absolutely, yeah. I know Eve wants to say something through the mayor.
That's really all I have. So that's fine. Thank you.
We really value our board members, P&Z, all the volunteers that serve. This was passed unanimously by a very diverse group of individuals, including attorneys, that really put a lot of time and effort. But it's already happening. This allows us to regulate it more and to treat it like a code violation. But that doesn't mean that in less of a year, in 4 months, 3 months, 5 months, if this becomes a big problem, we're coming back with another recommendation to end it. So, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, City Manager. City Attorney, did you have something as well?
We're listening to your concerns, so we can look for second reading if there are any. We won't change the title because I don't think it's necessary, but we could look at bringing you back some other recommendations and perhaps a shorter sunset.
Thank you, City Attorney, Vice Mayor.
Thank you. You know, I don't get it. I mean, just there's a few people that have a comment about not wanting to have chickens, and I can tell you right now, I can drive around Dania, and I have, and there's chickens all over the place. And I don't know why all of a sudden, because it comes up on the agenda that everybody doesn't want to have chickens, have them. I mean, I don't like to be, one thing that irritates me is I don't like to be told what I can and cannot do in my yard. And that's the freedom that we have as a resident ourselves. Just because some people don't like it, I'm sorry, you know, do what you want to do as long as you don't break a rule. They're not breaking any rules here. You're asking us to change rules at your convenience. And I can tell you right now that I'm not in favor of not having people. I mean, if people want to have some chickens, and it's not 25, it's 4 chickens. So this paper I got says 25 on it. I don't know where that came from. So I think that's a little bit misleading. And, you know, the thing is that the people around here, it's like, there's been how many complaints? 10 complaints you said over a year, and that's with roosters? Some of it's with roosters. There's people with chickens now. How many people have complained? You get more complaints from people in the city that are complaining about other things, about cars in the driveway or parking on the street or whatever. I mean, and I go out my backyard. In my backyard, I don't have any animals, and I can look at rats running across the top of the lines. I mean, you can go to a restaurant down the street, go to Publix, and they're running around the back. I mean, you can't beat these things to death. You got to have open mind and let people live. I mean, when you start controlling everybody's life and telling them what you want or what you don't want, that's your privilege. But don't tell me what my privilege is. That's all I got to say. And I make with that, if there's no other comments, I make a motion, we pass the item.
I'm going to weigh in on it a little bit further because I think that the credit deserves, I mean, we dress it up as foul, but there is a lot of work that has gone into this, and I do respect the work and the research and the due diligence that has gone into this. And I'm sensitive to people being able to live as they should or want to in their own property, in their own yard, in their own lot. However, I'm also sensitive to neighbors and being able to not have what you want in your yard impact me in my yard. And so that's why I think that it is a pilot. But in my mind, I think that the chickens need a certain amount of room to roam. They need to, you know, be able to, you know, you need to be able to have a certain amount of space for that. And so I just think that, you know, I'm going back and forth, but I'm going to go ahead and entertain the motion. But I think at the end of the day, it is about quality of life, not just about quality of life for you, yourself, and your property and what you want to do, but you also have to be respectful of your neighbors and how what you want to do impacts them. So with that, we have a motion. Do I have a second? Commissioner Ryan?
Second.
Let's go ahead and take this one to a vote, Laura.
Yes, Mayor. Commissioner Lund?
No, hold on.
As long as we can come back and revisit this on a regular basis, and if we see a trend, it needs to stop. I will vote yes.
Commissioner Romali?
No.
Commissioner Ryan?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Salvino?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
No.
Mayor, the motion carries.
Thank you, Elora, and we will move forward with the next one. Where is it, 11.3? 11.3, Eve, please read 11.3.
Yes, ma'am. And this does not require a public hearing. It is an ordinance repealing Chapter 22, Streets and Sidewalks, at Article 5, General Regulations, Section 22-96, Shopping Cart Retention and Retrieval, as the regulation of shopping carts has been preempted by the state, provided a conflict, severability, and effective date. This is my item. So 5 years ago, the state law changed. We can't regulate shopping carts. We had it, this regulation in Chapter 17. It turns out we had a duplicate version in Chapter 22, and I missed it. So it was brought to my attention. I'm just asking to remove what we should have already removed.
Thank you, Eve. This is a public hearing. Does anyone want to speak for or against the shopping carts? Seeing none, Commissioner Ryan.
Motion to approve item 11.3.
Thank you, Commissioner Ryan. Do I have a second?
Yes.
Second, Commissioner Romoli. All in favor say aye. Aye. Okay, item 11.3 passes unanimously, and we did 12.1, correct?
2 and 3, so we're at 12.4.
All right, I like that. I like it like that. All right, let's move on to 12.4, Eve.
An ordinance amending Chapter 28 LDC at Article 725 definitions at Section 7530 terms defined to include definitions for certified recovery residences, amending Part 1 use regulations, Article 105 use regulations for residential and open space, zoning, amending Article 110 for commercial and mixed-use districts, 11020 list of permitted special exception and prohibited uses, amending Part 3 entitled Special Zoning Districts, Subpart 1 Community Redevelopment Area, Form-Based Zoning Code, 302 Detailed Use Regulations, 30210 Permitted Special Exception and Prohibited Uses, to include zoning district use regulations for certified recovery residences in order to update the city code consistent with state law under the Law Florida 2025-182, effective January 1, 2025. This is a community development city attorney item, and I'm going to also, if you don't mind, read the next one because they really go together, and I'll give one explanation.
Yes, go ahead.
And we can hold one public hearing. It's an ordinance amending Chapter 28, Use Regulations, 105, Use Regulations for Residential Open Space, to modify Section 105-250, Reasonable Accommodation Procedures, to update the reasonable accommodation procedures relating to recovery centers, to ensure a written application, 60-day renewal process, and updating the code consistent with state law of Florida, 2025-182, effective January 1st, 2025. So these two items. The state created a law for certified recovery residences and told the cities that we have to look at where these can be permitted as of right. So the first ordinance says multifamily is where this works. That's what that code does. The second code, also provided for under state law, says when you have certified recovery residences and there are areas that don't go as of right, you need to have a reasonable accommodation process. We have one of those in our code, but it had to be amended to be consistent with how the state law says that code should be, and those are the edits. And it is a public hearing for both items.
There's a public hearing. This is a public hearing. Anyone to speak for or against? All right, public hearing is closed. Do we have any discussion from the commission? Do we have a motion for item 12.4? Motion? Commissioner
Motion to
Romoli?
approve 12.4, Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner Romoli. Commissioner Llewellyn? Second, all in favor say aye. All right, item 12.4 passes unanimously. You read item 12.5?
I read it,
Yeah,
so we just need a motion.
So this is a public hearing. Anyone to speak for or against? Public hearing is closed. And so if we can have a motion, Commissioner Llewellyn?
I'll make a motion to approve 12.5.
Thank you. Do I have a second? Commissioner Ryan?
Second.
All in favor say aye. Excellent. Item 12.5 passes unanimously. All right, we are on to item 13, discussion and possible action. And this is a request by me to waive an or sponsor all fees associated with the community center at IT Parker to celebrate Detective Eric Hoff's 26 years of service to BSO. This will be on March 21st, 2026. And so I am requesting, I know sometimes we talk about waive versus sponsoring, but I wanted to discuss that with you. Obviously, I believe we all want to support Detective Hoff for his years of service, and certainly I believe that he deserves that after how much he's contributed to the city of Dania Beach. So I'm entertaining which of the ones you would want to do, and then we can move forward. Commissioner Romoli?
Yeah, I will move forward. I think we should just, I'll pay my contingency for the fee, or if you want to split it amongst us to do that, that's all, I mean, the least we can do.
Absolutely. Thank you. Commissioner Llewellyn?
Yeah, I hate to waive anything because it's always good to have money going in, money coming out, so that you can balance your books properly. So I would rather do that, and I'm happy to contribute as well.
Okay, so I'm hearing consensus to contribute from all of us for the fee. Do we have, or no, Commissioner, Vice Mayor, do you not want to support? Oh, it's too late for this. Commissioner Ryan?
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, of course, I'm in support of this, to waive the fee for Deputy Eric Hoff, 26 years of service in Dania Beach is a wonderful thing, and he's been celebrated, I'm telling you, and this is going to be his last, I guess, big one to go out. But I just want to remind the commission, let's be consistent with this, all right? Because we definitely have a lot of officers that have given a lot of time in BSO, so I don't want to give anybody any special treatment over another, all right? That's all, because definitely got a couple guys that have been here for, over 30 years. So let's just keep them in mind when every time comes. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I will add, and I agree with you, but I just do want to point out and put on the record that this is a request for his wife, that she's throwing this party for him. This isn't me saying I want to throw a party, even though I do want to throw a party for him. It is a request from his wife, and that's something that she's doing for him. So I did just recently see something about the insurance fees. Is that something that we can cover as well, or is that something that has to be separate from the commission?
The insurance fees are nominal, so I'll look into it, and if we need to support it, Candy and I will support it from our manager's contingency.
Excellent. So then I have unanimous approval to approve the sponsorship of Detective Hoff's 26 years of service, waiving the fees for IT Parker Center. I'm sorry, you know.
Waiving the fee amongst.
We're sponsoring the fee amongst all 5 of us. And any insurance fees, then the city manager and deputy city manager will cover. Thank you. All right, and then we have appointments. This is becoming a problem for me when we talk about processes, because I just want to put it out there that I first was just told I had a seat that was open. So I filled the seat, and I was told that the seat had to be from a Dania Beach resident, which, okay, I understand that. But now I understand that the seat has to be filled by a resident who has their fees being paid by the Dania Beach Housing Authority. So every time that, I'm finding out a new piece of information, so I'm in the process of talking and trying to figure out if there's going to be anything else before I bring back a new candidate.
If I can, under the chapter of housing authorities, what they have to be is either a Section 8 participant or a public housing participant.
So
in the program, through the housing authority. So yes, it's a resident who is in either public housing or Section 8.
But they are in Section 8 in public housing, but their fees have to be paid by the Dania Beach Housing Authority. That's what the question was, is that their fees are being paid by
Yes,
another housing authority.
Yes, it's not Section 8 through the county, it's Section 8 through the housing authority.
But that's still, they are being paid by the housing authority, but not the Dania Beach Housing Authority. That's what I was, so like, there's 8
Correct.
different housing authorities within Broward County.
That is correct.
So that, like, it's being held by the.
Correct.
So it has.
It's the Dania Beach Housing Authority administers the Section 8 program or the public housing.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm over it. So let's move on. Commissioner Llewellyn.
I was just going to say, you could speak to people at the Housing Authority. I'm sure they know the people that are in their program and who would be interested or who might make good board members. And I'm sure they could make recommendations.
Well, that's what I'm in the process of doing.
Okay, then that's all I was going to suggest.
Yeah. Commissioner Romoli.
And also keep in mind, my understanding, you correct me if I'm wrong, Attorney Eve, but as long as they're on the program, it doesn't mean they have to live in Dania Beach. It's like we give Section 8 housing vouchers, and they might be in Fort Lauderdale or Davie. It doesn't have to be. But it's paid for
Depends
by
on the
Dania Beach.
position, on the seat. One seat is yes, one seat is no. I think this
And
is
this
what
one
you're working on
has
now.
to be, because it was
So
poly
that one
seat,
does
so that
have
you
to be also
a
living here
resident.
and on, okay.
By the way, I already got the question earlier today from the Housing Authority on whether they have to be a citizen, and I've already cleared that up, so it's not another qualification.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna be real thorough before I put another name back up here. Just understand that.
And Mayor, we're working with, I believe it's Ann?
Ann
So
Castro.
that way she can give us the full details so that
yeah.
we can add that and incorporate it into the board manual.
Yeah.
So moving forward, everything is listed and we know exactly what we need.
That's what I'm talking about, Lord. That's what I need. I need the full list so that there's not, so we don't have to keep going back and forth in the future. And it's better that we have it in writing ourselves through the city, so it's not whoever's the mayor next will have a much easier time. All right. And so we'll move on from that. I don't have an appointment for that. And commission comments, we will start with Commissioner Llewellyn.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm not really going to have much to say tonight, except have a wonderful Valentine's Day. We had a lovely evening on Saturday night at the Dinner Under the Stars. But everybody have a nice Valentine's Day and see you in a couple weeks. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Llewellyn. Commissioner Romoli.
Thank you, Mayor. I am going to take a little bit of time to read a statement. I wish there were more residents actually present, but hopefully there's some listening at home. I know what I'm going to say probably isn't going to be welcomed by everybody, but I can't stay silent anymore about what's happening across the United States under the name immigration and ICE enforcement. With all of the negative talk leading up to the Super Bowl halftime performance by a U.S. citizen who happened to be born in the U.S. territory, Puerto Rico, to the negative insults of our Olympic athletes that are just because they are standing for unity and love for all. Silence would make me complicit, so silence would suggest that I am not seeing or hearing what is normal, what is acceptable or justified. And none of these things are being done right now. This is not normal. Across this country, families are being torn apart. Parents are afraid to take the children to school, take them to work, go to work, or even seek medical care. Communities are living in constant fear not because they have done something wrong, but because they exist. That fear is not an accident. It's a result of policies and practices that treat human beings as problems, to be removed rather than people to be protected. To be clear, immigration enforcement is not just about laws on paper. It's about how those laws are carried out and who bears the cost. When enforcement becomes indiscriminate, when it relies on intimidation, racial profiling, cruelty, and when American citizens are being harmed, it stops being about safety and starts being about punishment. The people most affected are not strangers. They're our neighbors. They're coworkers, they're classmates, they're caregivers, they're farmers, construction workers, and small business owners. They're people just like me, and because I'm brown and Latino, I now carry a U.S. passport with me everywhere I go. Immigrants contribute to this country every day with labor, their taxes, their culture, their hope. And many lived here for decades. Many know no other home. And yet they are spoken about as if they're less than human. That language matters. Policies that follow matter even more. We are told that this is necessary, that this is about order or security or rule of law, but there's nothing orderly about ripping families apart. There's nothing secure about traumatizing children, and there's nothing lawful about ignoring basic human rights and dignity. America has always claimed to be a nation shaped by immigrants, not just by history books, but by values, fairness, and opportunity, and the belief that people deserve to be judged by their character and not their birthplace. When our actions contradict those values, it's not being unpatriotic to speak up. In my opinion, it's necessary. I can't stay silent while fear replaces trust in our communities. I can't stay silent while people are detained without due process. And I can't stay silent while suffering is treated as a deterrent. Speaking out does not mean rejecting the idea of law, because I believe in laws. It means demanding better ones. It means insisting that on law enforcement that is humane and consistent with values. It means recognizing that compassion and accountability are not opposites, they belong together. History will remember what we choose to do in the moments like this, whether we look away or whether we say something about it. I choose to speak, and I choose to stand with families, with workers, and communities living in fear. And I choose to believe that we can build a better immigration system that reflects justice, dignity, and humanity for everyone. And I thank you, Mary, for the time to allow me to read this. Thank you, and good night.
Thank you, Commissioner Ramoli, for that. And Commissioner Ryan.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, a couple things to go over. We went up to Tallahassee for our appropriations request up in December, and then I went up there a couple weeks ago for Broward Days. I know our mayor was ill, but you still get a lot of love up there, Mayor, and I represented Dania Beach best I could, and that's what I want to let you guys know. When we're up in Tallahassee, we get a lot of respect up there for what our city staff is doing and our management and what we accomplish as a commission. So, let's make sure we keep the good work going. A couple of our appropriations that we requested were for infrastructure and our parks. And speaking to our leaders up there, especially our senator, he said that there's money to be had. I don't want to say this in public record, but there is, and we can know, I'm sure no other cities are listening to us, okay? But he recommended, of course, we could still go for those infrastructure projects, but the way it works, there's appropriations committees, and there's only so much money in those appropriations committee, and it's like there's a hot item, right? And now Dania Beach was ahead of the curve before, where the hot item was infrastructure and storm drainage, right? Now every community is asking for that. And so some of the items that have a lot of money in appropriations that I heard would be easier to get grants on would be after school programs, school safety grants, so a lot to do with education, like public safety that is health related. As you know, like the county did their big thing with the heart EKGs, right? So something like that that the city could do. I just want to put that on the staff's mind for next year for our appropriations. Obviously, it's too late now. They're in the middle of the session, but we could go for more, is what I'm saying. We could definitely go for more. And we got to know where that low-hanging fruit is. I hate that term, but we have to know where it is. With that, I am so looking forward to the grand opening of C.W. Thomas Park. Brand new gym, the Tamara James basketball gym. We have the brand new swimming pool. We have 2 new playgrounds. The football field is obviously my favorite part of it, and I'm really looking forward to that. The whole community is going to come out. It's going to be such a special day, and a lot of work went into that before I was even elected, right? That started in like 2017, right? Maybe even before. So kudos to everybody on that, and we're really going to enjoy the fruits of our labor on February 12th. And with that, happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Enjoy it. Enjoy your family. Hold a loved one close. Have a good night.
Thank you, Commissioner Ryan. Vice Mayor.
What I have to say, you don't want to hear it. That's all.
Don't tell me what I want to hear.
I'm not telling
No,
you.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Don't start with me.
I'm messing with you, Vice Mayor. I'm messing with you. I'll let you pass on your comments. And I will keep mine brief because you guys know, I wind down after a little while. So, I was sick and for the last 2 weeks. And so I did miss my legislative conference. I missed my U.S. Conference of Mayors, those things that I absolutely love to go because I love to represent Dania Beach, and I'm very excited and a great cheerleader for our city. But it just made me take stock in how important it is to make sure that during this flu season, during all these different seasons, that we make sure that we're taking care of our health. I'm so busy running around that I'm not taking care of me. So make sure you take care of yourself first. If you don't take care of you, you can't take care of anybody else. And so I did sneak away. I was in pain still, but I was able to make it to my favorite ceremony, which was the Four Chaplains Remembrance Ceremony at IT Parker. That place is stunning for so many different events, and we actually got to meet the daughter of one of the not one of the chaplains, but one of the soldiers that was on the USAT Dorchester, and so that was a very special moment to be able to meet her and hear her speak about her father in that way from World War II. So I also want to just go through and say happy Valentine's Day, happy Black History Month. We are in a state of being, a lot of people around the nation and around the country are so divided right now, but let us take the spirit of the Olympics with us, and let's keep our city united and celebrate our diversity and celebrate the way that we lead with love. And so happy Valentine's Day. Let's continue to lead with love, stay healthy, and let's get out of here. Have a good night.
Good night, everyone. We have a drive.
I'm so ready to go.
Good night, everyone.
Night all.
Oh, so tired.